The following program deals with a controversial subject. The theories expressed are not the only possible interpretation.
The viewer is invited to make a judgment based on all available information.
Yeah, so I apologize,
I'm pretty
guys.
stoked.
What we're talking about is the speculation train starting with maybe Deadpool 3, if not Ahsoka, on the new Ahsoka show, which is less than 10 days away.
We're talking about the Marvel adaptation spec play. Yeah.
Any spec, I don't care as long as we can hear.
They're saying they can only hear Bryan in the chat.
No, we're good now, dude. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, my stoned normal self started out without your guys' sound, just myself. So.
Good thing I was typing.
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
At least you guys heard me.
Professionals over here.
Good thing I
brother.
started this part of the conversation too, right?
Yeah.
and like I said backstage, I'm on call and I'm already doing work. So.
Yeah. Well, here's a quick update for the channel. I think a quick update for the channel. I don't know what it is, but I think that the way that we kind of started for content creation, at least most of us here on this stage right now, we started because we love to talk about cool comics and shit. And so I kind of want to start maybe pushing content more towards a collecting thing, because I don't think that speculation is necessarily dead. I think that it's there. It's just the margins are a little low. But I think that at the same time, we need to have fun in this. And we were kind of talking backstage about it. We were kind of talking about it with Leg and Richie. And I think that we do need to have fun with this hobby again. And I think it would be cool to maybe find like a new niche collecting thing to collect and show my journey along it. You know what I mean? Get into something. I don't collect anything anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I don't collect anything like I used to collect stuff, where I used to like really be into searching for stuff. Now it's, if I go to a con, I'll go find something, cool. But I don't go really searching for anything anymore. And I think I want to find that again, whether it's some weird comic book niche. I'll tell you one thing.
Kind of like how I'm chasing that jaw rainbow, right?
Yes. Well, I'll tell. Yeah. Hold on. Don't get too fast, because I'm going to break your heart right here. I'm getting out of cards. I'm out skis. No, not forever, but speculation to try and make money off of cards, it's dead to me, man. This whole Wander thing, dude. This Wander thing broke my heart, bro.
Oh, you're telling me.
Dude, if you fall off the horse, you got to get back on. It's just a bump.
I'm not saying I'm going to quit collecting cards, but I'm going to collect like something that isn't like expensive. You know what I mean? I'm going to collect something interesting, or I'm going to go search for like, Chad K's been sending me these cards of funny names. Maybe I'll just go collect funny names in cards. You know what I mean? Like, I think that's what we love. We love to talk about the things that we're into and shit like that. And I think that we need to do more of that. At least I'm going to do more of that and probably pull myself out of this. But at the same time, I also think that talking about cool comics makes other people love cool comics, right? So that's what we need to do around here more. We need to talk about cool comics and cool shit, and we're going to do that. I've got the Saturday show is going to stay the same, by the way, you guys. Mayhem. Like, that's mayhem over there. That is there's nothing I can do about that show. That show is what it is, and it will always forever stay that way. But I think everything else I want to try and clean up a little bit. This whole thing has been a journey, especially with these guys right here. These guys have been here since day one of like old school me getting into this, and then me kind of saying, okay, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. We have that industry show coming. I'm cross my fingers. We're going to be recording it beginning of next week. So that'll be a new thing. And like I said, I want to do cool shit over here that people enjoy, because I hate to say it, man, it's hard to look at the comic market prices and they just keep dropping, man. And that hurts. That sucks. That sucks.
But it's still August.
Yes, you're right. It's
we're
fucking a
dealing
shitty
with
summer.
only 3 weeks after SDCC with no real SDCC announcements because of lack of Hall H, etc., which most of us actually enjoyed, because we gotta admit this year was a lot more fucking fun than it was last year. The chase was a little more attainable. There were a lot more cool variants to find, to pick up, to flip, to keep, whatever you want to do, So I've been I don't know, but like the summer's always down. Summer's down. Summer's down. We get kids come back into school September. I joke around about East Coast and Northern dudes. It starts snowing and shit, and it gets cold. Nobody wants to go outside, so they start buying more stuff on the interwebs. So September, October stuff starts to come back. November too. December is a decent buying time a lot of times because people have some fire sales for Christmas, or they have to spend their Christmas money on, I don't know, things like families. So, that's a decent buying time. And then it starts to pick up the beginning of the year. So to me, I'm with you, but it's still these, especially without mega news, we didn't get a full. No, it slowly trickled out. It's what we got with Dazzler, Galactus, things like that. Slowly trickled out. But, right about now, there hasn't been quite as much mega stuff and only spec stuff and things like that. And the problem is some of these characters people have been specking on for a long time, but it doesn't have to be about movies and TV, right? There's different niche stuff, There's I keep playing covered tunes over there, and this listed a nice list of stuff that he likes to collect. And we've all been in and out of that and studied all in that, you know what I mean? And so it's all good stuff. There's plenty of stuff to collect, man. And figure out what you like, collect it, and buy it. That's it.
Do you think that
I got crazy? I think I'm going to finally put my Masters Universe stuff on the registry. I see people winning these things, and I was like, I should just throw these on there because I looked at the registry's not that great. And that one's a little easier. I hate to say it. It's just there's less comics to collect for that than there is, you know what I mean? It's not like someone's going to put together a great Spider-Man registry or something like that anytime soon.
Well, there's some people that were winning registry awards on IG recently, man. So some people who are in the chat tonight, I believe. So that was kind of cool to see. I mean, maybe that is something kind of cool to search after is a registry award. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like on something crazy like Thrasher Comics or something like that, or
I want grade all 10 on mine. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll be the only one with all 10 graded. They could get back 2.0.
You should do that, bro. That would be something that would be super cool to do. That'd be super cool to do.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We base a lot of this shit on eBay and say that's the market. But we don't know when people go into an LCS and throw down $1,000 and buy a book that could change our opinion of what's going on. I'm in Corpus Christi, Texas. My buddy has an LCS. I see people going in there spending a lot of fucking money. So when we say all the hobbies down and this and that, is Jesse James getting out of the hobby?
Hell no, but here's the thing, Hood.
I'm just saying people are still selling books.
No, here's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about comics. I'm not talking about comics making money. I'm talking about speculation. And what I mean by when I talk about speculation, I'm talking about them old days where some news would come out on a character, the book would shoot up for a decent amount and stay that way for a long time. Now they don't even shoot up to a decent amount except for like a couple hours after the news. You know what I mean? That type of speculation is dead. And here's the other thing. And I don't mean I shouldn't say dead. It's fucking near death, dude. Like it's got to have something to bring it back. And maybe Skybound doing the G.I. Joe and the Transformer shit, maybe some good content with Ahsoka and the MCU, maybe some good writing with this new Marvel, with this new Wolverine versus Saber-tooth war that's supposed to be the most adult, violent book that Marvel has ever done. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
Okay, maybe that's what we need, but it isn't there. It's gone.
I think you're onto something there. I think it's a little aggressive, in my opinion. With all due respect, I think it's a little aggressive to say that spec is dead or near death. I just think, in my words, which I'm not disagreeing, I just think that the window is smaller to flip.
Yeah, exactly.
And
the margin,
the
is
timing
tighter.
is everything.
Yeah.
No matter what we do, but with this one,
And that's
the
what I
window
mean.
is much
That's what I
smaller.
mean. So when Hood talked about what he said, he's exactly right, dude. Jesse James is selling more than he's ever sold in his life. I mean, that dude's making Sean Hudachko's selling more comics than he's ever sold in his life. You know, I'm sure Dennis Barger is selling more records and toys and comics than he's ever sold in his life. You know, there's people out there that are selling, that have been in the game for a long time that are doing better than they've ever done.
But
That
can we
being
just say
said,
that
we're
I
not
was gonna
that.
say-
You know, we're spec guys. We're guys that try to figure out what's coming next, or at least that's kind of where we come from. What's coming next? What's hot? What can we pick up for a couple bucks and then flip for $50 profit in a few months? You know, or more. Like, that's the type of stuff that we come from. I just feel like the margins are so tight on that stuff right now.
No, you got a good point.
Well, I was just gonna say, I think the market's evolving like it always does, right? Like, it evolved during COVID of what was hitting hot, and it's evolving now at this point, right? Like, because now you have new people into the collection scene, and they kind of know their way around comics, right? Or some are picking up stuff faster, others are, you know, finding like what their niche is, right, within the collecting community. So that's why I think we're seeing all-time highs on those rare to hard to find books, because, you know, like people like us or just anybody where they're getting their information from, they're finding it about new books, and it's opening rabbit holes for them to like go out and search, like research, hey, this is what I'm collecting now, I'm going to go after that, right?
Yeah.
And how many I mean, we've hit a ton of the niches is sort of the thing. With the internet, we sort of all uncovered a lot of this together, you know, for if you're going Mark Jewelers, DCUs, you know, variants, actual scarcity, you know, trying to figure out what's actually rare, where the spec is going to come from, what little spec you can play in. You know, we've all been like fighting this forever. So I know a lot of people feels like, you know, you've nitpicked it so much, but I'm going to be honest, man, for years and years, I always said anything that makes value is good. Like, we've got Incredible Hulk, I think 270. Okay. So at the final panel, it says in next issue, Rocket Raccoon.
Right.
All right. And I'm pretty sure it's 270 because 271 is on the cover, right? The white cover. So it says Rocket Raccoon. All right. Nobody gave that much of a shit, but it turned a book that you could find 6 or 7 years ago or whatever, a book that you could easily find that has no value or whatever. It turned a $2 to $6 back bin book into a $12 to $15 before shipping eBay play, because he was Rocky Raccoon when he was in the Satana magazine, right? So we've got that. So you know what? We found a way for everybody to make $10, and you know what? Everybody, most people have $15 to make themselves happy. Okay, I'm not saying you need a 9.8, spend $300, you got to get the newsstand. You know, that's not what I said. But you gave people a chance to just run down to the store, pull out the 2 or 3 Hulk 270s or the one, or go to 5 stores and find the one. Excuse me. Make themselves $10 and have a good time. And so some people don't find value in someone trying to make $10, or don't find value in someone trying to make, you know, $10 15 times if they find 15 of them, man. But to some people, it's just fun and it's a freaking hobby. You don't have to do it. It doesn't have to be for a living.
Yeah.
You know, something like that. So it was fun. You know, my honesty, just to get things paid for, to get my readers, I would I would sell 1 in 25s that I'd pick up for $8 or $10 for 20 or 25 on eBay. And about the 4 of the books that I meant to read that week, I was happy reading them, and I was good to go. I didn't give a shit about the variants, you know. Harley Quinn #1, Adam Hughes, man. I grabbed it at the store for $10, sell for 25 that day, and that was it. I mean, it's fallen off, but it's still what $400.98 at least, you know.
Oh yeah,
Lots of shit we shouldn't have sold, you know. And I knew the thing was gorgeous, but I wanted to buy books. Now, do I just buy books to read anymore? No, I'm evolved past that. I also don't live in a place like I used to that's conducive. Used to be able to, on my lunch hour, I could hit minimum 2 to 3 in 1 hour, hit 2 to 3 LCSs. I can't even get to one for 45 minutes from where I live. That's one way, and you know what I mean. And so I don't know. It's a little, and that's assuming I had nothing to do on a Wednesday, you know, which I do. So that's unfortunate. You know, that's it. I don't have that opportunity anymore. And also, people.
Damn, you get lunch.
Yeah, people also overlook the fact that, oh yeah, why do you want to make $15? Well, you know what? You also could be making somebody to live somewhere like that. Really, let's say I just use for example that Harley Quinn. If I wanted that, and I'm a Hughes collector, and that's a #1, and I believe in it, whether or not I think it's going to be a $500 book, and I have no ability to go get that, even if and let's just say you live kind of further out like I do, there's no guarantee that store is even going to get 1 in 25, right, much less multiple, or that I'm first in line to get that 1 in 125, or that they haven't just given it to their friend or something like that. So to me, to spend $25 on the internet for something that means something to me, cool. I think that's an added value. And so I've never understood why dealers would want to hate on just flippers. I always feel like, you know what, get your game right. Get your shit together, see what's in your back issue bins, price it 10 to 20% below fucking eBay, and go ahead and take that money and let somebody go on. So many dealers there's so many good dealers that will let people have some meat on the bone, so they don't take a hit on something, even if their intention isn't to immediately flip, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it is.
Yeah, it's rough, man. It's dog eat dog out there. I want to remind everybody the Discord call-in section live is open. So if you guys ever want to call in live to the show, it's available. That's also where we're getting our soundboards. So thank you to everybody in there that has been rocking the soundboards. That shit works. Brad, appreciate it. Chad Cavis, see Chad's in there. What's going on, guys? I don't know. I just think it's very interesting. You guys know how I love to play with that shit, to bring up the question. That I think everybody's kind of thinking in that world. It's on the tip of everybody's tongue. Everybody's asking, you know, is it worth doing anymore? Is it dead? Is it not dead? Is it thriving? You know, whatever. It's
but here's the easy one then for it. Something that's not MCU, right? Like the new Turtles movie just came out. How are turtle books doing? Are they like increasing in price? Are they maintaining their price? Like, you know, is it creating a new fandom? It needs time to
Turtle books always seem to me like the movies really didn't make a difference.
Yeah.
It seemed like it was more of a comic book speculation deal. I don't know. I mean, I just got back into comics in 2016, into speculation 2018. I can't speak for the rest of the panel because they've been in it, you know, during the last decade and a half to 2 decades. But to me, with Turtles, I see Turtles books bump when there's like a real important new character in the comics. So yeah,
but so it's like story driven more than like anything outside of the
kinda. Yeah. But I'm sure you have a good point. I'm sure you have a good point because I mean, there wasn't any turtle movies or toys. I don't know if #1 would be as expensive as it is. So.
Then you have something like the Last Ronin, right?
That book did well.
Yeah. Then we just had that video game.
Yeah.
Preview teaser. I mean, which wasn't even anything really, right? So, but that book is starting to, you know, it didn't really sink down either, right? It just kind of
It has to a
maintained.
degree, or has it not?
Mhm.
I thought
Here's where-
I thought it ticked up a little bit, like when the follow-up story came out.
Okay.
Here's
Yes.
where I
Yes.
think that we're moving,
I
right?
can
Or that
definitely be
where
wrong.
we've moved, where the speculation has jumped to, right? It's jumped from TV movie spec, a little mainly pushing it to a little bit of new story spec, or like comic book writer spec, that type of stuff. Now I think it's by far cover spec that is pushing spec. It's like, I would say 60% cover spec, if not more. And then there's a little bit of TV and movie spec, and then even smaller amount of comic book spec, if that makes sense. Cover spec is pushing. We got the variant covers, the new artists that are doing covers because of exclusive variants, retailer exclusives, which is a ton of new artists, which is great. That's the great thing about retailer exclusives. I love the fact that we've got all these new artists. I love the fact that I'm searching after Lobos's first cover picks. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to talk more about collecting creators first, because I am enjoying doing that. It's just hard where I feel like we used to, anytime we would talk about something, it was enjoyable to talk about, and I feel like it hasn't been like that lately in comic book world. So I feel like talking more about the cool collecting stuff will be something worth it in the end, and we'll that'll play out in the end. I don't necessarily think that spec is dead. I get you're right. I think that saying that is a little too much, but for the most part, it's changed. It's definitely changed, man. It's amazing how it's changed.
Definitely, I agree with you, and you're entitled to your own opinion. Like I said, I respect you, and you're onto something there. I just think, the way I look at it, we were kind of alluding on it backstage. There's just more, and these guys, we kind of all agree. There's just more to spec than just adaptation stuff. You know?
Right.
So.
Well, and then as the space keeps on growing too, right? And as new people cycle in or old people cycle out or whatever, it's gonna evolve within just that, right? Of what people's tastes are. So,
yeah,
I mean, you can't really stop that. Is what I'm saying.
And here's the thing about cover spec. All right, it's you don't fucking have comic books without art.
yeah.
Okay,
No.
comics are words and art tied together, and almost inarguably, although comics are nowhere near as wordy as they were up until at least the 70s and such, they'd be a lot thicker and stuff. There's way more art in comics than words. Okay, we like to stop and enjoy.
What is a nerd?
So you like to stop and enjoy the art for what it is. So when you have an artist that you like, dude, how many Adam Hughes, J. Scott Campbell, Lotto fans do we have? And they're not doing interiors anymore. You want some JSC interiors? When's the last time you did that shit? Gen 13? I don't know. So if you like art, you can go ahead and collect art however you see fit to collect art, because your art is on the cover of a fucking comic book. Go ahead and buy it. You know why? Because that's what you like. Go ahead and enjoy that art for just art. So what if there's nothing in the guts of that issue? So what? So what does it matter? It doesn't count. Someone took the time out of their life, got paid for it or not, took time out of their life. They drew that piece of art to the best of their ability. And for a fan to go buy it and appreciate it for purely looking at it, there is nothing wrong with looking at a picture and enjoying a picture. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to call yourself an art collector or a comic art collector and you want to keep doing that and you don't feel like reading books, don't read books. That's your prerogative. Buy what you want. Buy what makes you happy. Collect what makes you happy. Make your own checklist. Figure it out. Find your own niche and go fucking enjoy it however you want to do it.
We're going to clip that.
Love leg.
Yeah, I agree 1,000%.
Dude,
Speaking
buy what
of,
you like, dude, stacks of what I have. It was like that. Stacks what I have the artist. You know what I mean? A Masters Universe collection because the best stores. No, I grew up. It's nostalgia, and I like comic books, and I have more room for them than I do action figures. So I buy that shit. You know what I mean? Dave Wilkins loves all his covers. Put all his cover stuff together, right? He's his interiors are on a handful or not more Blade vs. Wolverine, some of the older stuff that he did, things like that. But he does art for Sideshow as well. So I love the stuff that he does. I was lucky enough to participate in a variant that I got to be the witness for. That's because, dude, and he's the coolest motherfucker around. So when I had, finding something that you have passion and spending your time in that passion, there's nothing wrong with that. And spending the money that you make, however the hell you make it on that passion, there's nothing wrong with that either.
There you go. Fucking A. I agree, my brother. So, that being said, spec isn't dead. Just spec on whatever you want. Fuck it.
Well, what hurt everybody, like a lot of people went all in on this, what they were speculating on, and as far as what they were tying to movies, right? And one comes to mind is like the Thor God of Thunder. What Marvel has done and chosen to do is they're not sticking to source material. So if they're not going to stick to source material, like it makes speculating on characters and what they're going to do and plot, and it makes it hard to figure out what they're going to do. Before it was easy, now if they're just not even going to stick to a storyline and do whatever they want, it just, that part of speculation, I would say, you're absolutely right, is dead, unless they start sticking to, it's like if they made the Killing Joke and did a different story but called it the Killing Joke, and you're all, what the fuck, what's going on here? This doesn't happen. And that's what's made the community kind of take what's going on with this shit. And because they've done that, the product has suffered, and then nobody's really going and going to the movies to watch this stuff. The Disney Plus stuff, it's all crap. All of it is shit.
Do you remember when like Donny Cates was super hot and people were specking on like the first Donny Cates Venom stuff, the first Donny Cates, time he wrote a Venom book, that type of shit. We don't really see that.
I was gonna say,
you gotta put Donnie stuff in a capsule, man, because unless he comes back, unless you got a Scott Snyder coming back and doing a big run on like Amazing Spider-Man or something like that, it's got to be a big title with a writer like that to really move things back to where they were. Like Donnie, he'd write a book, or maybe even mention on Twitter that he liked this other book. Everybody went out and tried to find that book, and that book was $100.
I want to thank him though, real quick. I want to thank him because his Dylan spec helped me get a steep discount on the Spider-Man Chromium that I've been chasing after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of people made money that like buys books, sells books, and just based on that speculation from a writer. When a writer can just mention something or make you think he's going to go in a certain way, it makes you go dig, and you find that book, somebody wants that book, and you sell that book. But now, I mean, nobody's writing.
So check this out.
That whole Substack bullshit really fucked things up too, man. Everybody took off, and
all right. So check this out. This is that new series that's coming out, the Saber-tooth War, right? It's going to be playing out in this, and it's going to be playing out in what is it? Wolverine number 41. Let me bring this up.
Oh, that's the tie-in?
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's supposed to, and this is the Linnell Francis U for it. The Saber-tooth is part one is Wolverine number 41, and then it takes place in the next in Saber-tooth number 1. Sorry, I apologize. It starts in this right here, right? And there is a book that they talk about in the new article. It says Saber-tooth in the Exiles number 5 ended with Saber-tooth leading his team to Krakoa for an old friend's birthday, and it was that issue that first warned of the coming Saber-tooth war, right? Saber-tooth and the Exiles, #5. So, like in the past, I felt like we would have jumped on that book, heard about this stuff coming, jumped on that book, and that book, would have kind of taken off, right? Am I wrong about that? That's kind of like what the spec would do. The spec, and I feel like that hasn't happened since maybe Donny Cates in a big way and that type of stuff. We aren't seeing that type of comic book spec push. Like here's a perfect example. We've got the new Wolverine storyline. It's supposed to be the darkest Wolverine storyline, yada yada yada. They're talking about it all over the place. Is it pushing that book?
I mean, Hickman got close to continuing that fire, right? With his House and Power stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then when it got too spread out, right? And then it started changing writing teams, and where he was starting to pull the strings behind the scene, like in the editorial kind of position, I think he kind of lost it. And then with that tie-in, the X of Swords, it kind of just trailed off even further for anyone to really appreciate what he was trying to build.
Yeah. Well, this is going to be interesting, man, to see if this turns into anything. I'm glad. I think that this is one of the greatest things in comics, Saber-tooth versus Wolverine. I was one of those people that went and bought all the early Saber-tooth appearances. I went deep into the Captain Marvel. There's a famous one in Captain Marvel that was supposed to be printed in issue 29 or whatever, but they ended the series early and they didn't print it out until a special one shot later on. I was looking for all those crazy Saber-tooth appearances and his storyline, and the first time he, whenever he'd fight Wolverine. I would love to see those books just shoot up over this, that is what I'm hoping for.
Can I just say that this is a great cover?
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and most of the time when you see split face covers like this, there's always something off, right? Where someone's chin is way too long against the neck or whatever.
Yeah.
He did a really good balance between this, but still making it look different enough on each side. He did. Yeah. The shadows play well with that. So
I agree. I think it's going to be, well, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out.
So look what I literally, I pulled these out the grade today, this morning.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
That's what I'm talking about. Those beautiful Uncanny X-Men books.
I just pulled up those images to share the screen. Beautiful. I love it. Yeah. 212 is the guts, the first battle. The 213 continues. There you go, right there.
Dude, I've been saying
the first cover of them battling.
Dude, I literally went through this morning and to find out. I've got more, but these are I haven't pulled them out in a long time. I have to check the backs, but back in the day, I just kept buying all the X-Men books. Anything with Wolverine. And, well, just to be honest with you, anything Wolverine, Saber-tooth for sure, but anything Wolverine, period. Anything pre 300, but for sure pre 240, 230, whatever, with Wolverine on the cover. Yes, dude, you got if they look high grade in there, and you're literally buying these for $5, which doesn't happen very much anymore. I've just So I'm going through trying to find just any of the high grade stuff, especially the newsstands, which a bunch of these are. And that's just a stack. I was like, it's time to get on this Wolverine Deadpool. So I've been pulling out Wolverines and Deadpool's to grade. So
you could probably go ahead.
This is where I wanted to go with this whole spec talk. This is and I wish Hood would have just left, damn it. I was really hoping that he could talk with us about this.
He had to go piss off his neighbor.
I know.
he hasn't done it yet today.
That being said, I think one of the spec plays on a lot of the stuff is just to grade this stuff. Just make sure you're grading high grade stuff, and if you can find high grade books of this, and we've been collecting high grade copies of these books for a long time. I feel like if we just grade them and sell them, these high grade books graded, that I feel like, especially on those X-Men books are appreciating. It's getting older, where some of those books can be 9.4s, 9.6s, and still make decent money. You know?
Oh, Oh yeah, like I bought a 9.2 of X-Men 50 pre-pandemic. It was kind of weird. Like the case was signed by Steranko, but I thought it was like kind of funny. So I was like kind of like, all right, I'll buy Paul's book. So it wasn't really Paul's, but anyways,
Yeah.
I bought it for like $200-$300. Pandemic, that book jumped like crazy. Like any like X-Men first appearances, any of that. That's even just a second appearance and just first cover, right? So when I saw prices of that, I was like kind of like, oh, do I just sell this again and buy in again later? But I was like kind of like, nah, I'm gonna be a hoarder and just wait even longer.
Yeah.
I like where Sean was going. I really like where you're at with the 212 and 213. Plus, there's a lot going on in those books. I mean, you have 213. You have first cameo, Mr. Sinister in the guts. You got Betsy Braddock joins the X-Men and actually gets the Psylocke name, and then also just to add to what Sean was saying is Wolverine 10.
That Psylocke stuff. I'll be right back.
Classic battle on the cover, first time battling in the Wolverine title. I mean, that's another you know. I wouldn't be surprised if those get a little bit of bump, and I don't hear any MCU attached to that. So you know, be ready. I know all of us are here for those. I mean, I've been stacking those for a while. So
Yeah,
I love our chat. 9-8 or bust. We can't all be doctors. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what. For things that I've collected over the years, between like $2 and $6, that I can go spend like $21, $22. You don't have to fast track anymore. I think I'm adding value.
Wait, real quick, I think we have a first time caller. What's up, caller?
Do we?
Yes, I got a question from the Discord here. Can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Loud and clear.
What the hell are we talking?
Well, who am I talking to?
To?
Or who are we talking to?
This is Rhino. Rhino from Rhino's Bus, yes. This is who it is.
Ryan.
What up, Ryan?
What up, dogs? Dog. So I have a question for y'all. Y'all talking about all the
No, I will not buy Atlanta Falcons cards.
No, it's all good. That is a very good spec buy right now. I'll tell you, it is a very good spec buy right now. I got to into it because I was hearing, you know, I think it was like kind of telling a little bit of the story, kind of how I got to it or whatever. And I remember when I kind of got that first spec bug was when I was, you know, always been a Venom collector, and I remember hearing something about a sleeper, and I was like, I think I just saw this cover at my local LCS. Let me go see if it's still there. And I ran to the LCS that day. I was like, I could go there that afternoon. And the work was still there. And it was still there. I got it for like $3. And it was the, what was it? Which one is it? It's the one where it's his first appearance on the cover. It's the second print. I can't remember which one it was, from what series it was. But I remember like getting that and being like stoked. Like, oh, this thing says it's supposed to be you know, pretty valuable or something here in the near future. And like 2 weeks later, it was worth like $130 or something like that. And I just bought it for $3, and I totally felt like I ripped off. Like I just got like the deal. Like it was stoked, and I was like, man, this is cool. So that's how this thing works. So you try to find it, and from that point on, that's what I was doing. I was like, okay, try to see if I can find stuff. Try to make a memory bank of things I saw in different shops. And it really wasn't to flip things, more so that it was to like that cool feeling of I saw this here, you track it back down, and then you find it, and you're like, okay, it's going to be valuable at some point in the future. And I picked it up, and I would sell things. I've always been kind of a seller where I like to get things to people who collect them. Like if you collect a certain character or you collect a certain team, I want to try to get you that stuff. So I didn't mind hooking someone up, but I like the chase and the fighting of that was where that whole thing came from.
Rhino, this is Dollar here. Rich, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What's the title of that book again? The second print.
It was Venom.
Yeah, you sound better when you get. Make sure if you guys call in, speak close to your mic because otherwise people can't hear you.
Okay.
I guess
I lost him.
You
and
just
I don't
dropped
hear him
off.
anymore.
Yeah.
And then people are saying that there was an echo for it
Okay.
as well.
All right.
Yeah, you got to turn down your guys' TV or
Oh,
TV.
that'll work.
Or,
Ryan, you have
computer.
the link. Just join us.
No, I like the Discord call. Calling on the Discord.
Well,
I encourage that. Appreciate you, Rhino. If you want to give us a call back and finish your story, all ears. All ears.
Hey, Bryce Comics boys in the house. Up the down 7.
Yeah,
I guess the Bryan Comics show ended and he's jumped over here.
Yeah, what's going on with the? Are we gonna have a Red Hood versus Up the Down 7 battle? First battle.
Oh, he was
appearance?
talking shit that other
Yeah, I
show,
remember.
dude.
I remember, and I went to bat
Uh-oh.
for Up to Down 7 against one of my real close friends. Hopefully, it was we take it with a grain of salt, but it continues.
It's all good. We're good.
Yeah. So.
No worries,
Just-
Hood. No worries, brother. No worries.
Joe's like, don't
And
speak for me.
Brad Selden was talking shit to me yesterday too, man. What's up, bro?
Selden's our boy. Selden's our boy. Yeah, Joe. He's just he doesn't like
he's-
lawyers. He doesn't like
He's
lawyers.
even on the phone call right now, and he could
Yeah.
speak back if he wanted to.
Tell him.
What
Yeah,
are you
so-
talking
Hear you?
about, Hood? Are
Hood.
you serious? Or are you joking?
Are you joking or are you serious? Hood?
No, he was talking shit to me yesterday on
Selden?
another show. Yeah.
Are you sure he wasn't joking? Because he's very
I don't know.
dark humor
I don't
like
know.
us.
Yeah, bro. You gotta take this shit with a grain of salt.
There's
bro.
Rhinoverse.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Selden's a good man. Joe is a good man. But I want to know what's up with Up to Down 7. Are we friends or are we foes? I would like to
No,
know.
Everything's good.
There you go. All right.
Hey,
This is
Rhino.
going-
There you
What's
are.
up?
What up,
Yeah.
man? All right.
Sorry about that. My bad. I don't know. I've been ever since I heard about the echoing situation. I started using earbuds, so I don't think that was a feedback from me. That might have been something through the Discord situation, but who knows? But I'm trying to find the name of that damn book. It's First Host. That's what it was. Venom First Host. It was the
Sleeper?
second print.
Sleeper on the cover.
Yeah,
Number
so
3.
Sleeper on the cover. Yep. And that was the one I was like, oh, okay. And I'm trying to see what number it was. Looking in my
Number 3.
what you call it thing?
It's number 3.
Number 3. Yeah.
Yeah, I
So,
think that
but-
was the feeling for the longest time, is that people could go to their stores and find. I remember when I was first hanging out. I first met Kyle. We were going to this store, and this guy had a back store that was all his back stock, and so like it was just the diamond bags just full of copies. You know, there'd be like one box just full of nothing but the same book. You know, a couple times in bags and stacked in the same diamond bags, and he had dime bags. And
You can find that there if you dig hard enough.
yeah.
Shout out to
If you're in the
Daryl.
right box to get into.
So I remember we went in and we were finding books like the Deadpool Abbey Road Arthur Sidum issue, you know, which was maybe a $10 book at the time, and he had this dollar sale, and we would just buy. And he was telling people, you know, yeah, I'm opening up my backstock, take as much you want. And he got mad at us for doing it because we were taking them and putting them on eBay for $25, and they would sell, you know, and that is what it felt like you were talking about, Ryan, where, you know, you felt like you were taking advantage of your store because you're flipping this book for so much. You know, it was crazy. It was crazy times. That really doesn't happen
Yeah, you know,
anymore.
It was just really cool. I just remember thinking, like, I was so stoked that I was like, I thought for sure that like I was going to get stopped or something like that. It was my very first time to kind of have that deal where I saw it, and then I saw the spec thing, and then I turned around, I was able to pick it up. I actually sent that off and got it graded. He came back 9.8 and got it signed by Bagley because he did the cover. And it was just like, so one of those books I'll keep forever because it had such a cool feeling behind it. But and then so I'm not a real big spec guy. I like things that I like, and I try to read most of the stuff that I get. But there's no living aspect to some of you. You know, I know a lot of folks do it for living, for the income part of it all. And so, you know, more power to you on that. I think it's the thing where people started checking the prices at the counter. That was I mean, I can see it from their standpoint, but at the same time, like, just know what's going on. You have to be in it. You can't just be lazy.
Well, okay, we both live in Houston, and we probably go fairly to this same amount of shops to
Sure.
like fairly say.
Yeah.
Have you ever been repriced at the at checkout? I've never.
No, I haven't at the BR. Never have, or the hole out in Seabrook. I've never have. Now I think the hole out in Seabrook. I think I've seen them where they might start looking into that stuff. It seemed like at one point they did that too.
Well,
but I think it's to newbies.
But their wall is overpriced anyways.
Yeah, absolutely. But it was something
you can find some decent gold in their back issue bins, like some really obscure like really obscure stuff that no one's looking for. But I mean, that's either here or there. I haven't been there in a while.
That place is
Lobo.
That place is amazing, dude. I tell my wife that I'm going to the hole, and she's like, "All right, well, I'll see you later tonight then," because she knows like once you go in, you're not coming out for a long time.
But but they're the store that put out Lobo's first art as well. So shout out to Dimension.
Oh, they did?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Yeah, that guy who owns that place is cool. So Dimensions is really cool. I think it's one of the old school cool places to go to.
It's basically a store. It's a store that combines all our fandoms into one store.
If you're a shop and you're able to do things like this, where you can just put out 8,000 unsearched books for your buyers, for your customers, and have 50% off all that stuff, like that's great. That's the type of store that keeps moving. And I think
their dollar bin.
I think Hood is right. Like, there is stores out there that are just killing it in comic book stores. Comic books are selling like crazy. But here's the other thing. Back issues are selling like crazy. New issues are not. And that's a big issue right now in the industry. We'll get more deep down that rabbit hole in the coming weeks, but it's become a back issue game, and back issues are selling way more nowadays than new books, which is very different. It's very different.
Well, I'll tell you, like with new stuff, one of the things that burns me up a little bit is the variant game has jaded me when it comes to new stuff. So, again, I'm a Venom collector, and they always put out 1 million covers for one issue of Venom. And I did the keeping up thing for a long time, and I'm at the point now, like, nah, dude, I'm over that. I just can't, because it's just too much hassle. And it was a feat to catch everything all the way through volume 4. And I think that now I'm reluctant I'll buy a copy to read something, but to try to chase the amount of variants that are out there, you're going to find a lot of kindling in the streets of just because there's just so many variants. That's been complained about for a long time, I know, but it's out of control. I just wish that the people that have the ability to make a rule on that and to slow it down would do it, because they're shooting their own selves in the foot. So if the back issue stuff is starting to go because people are liking that, because there's maybe not as many variants as there was as the newer stuff coming out. And people are kind of desperate for the more scarce things out there. They don't need as many variants out. They would be doing everyone a favor by making less variants. And they always lean into that. Well, it gives the artists work. It keeps them employed. I think that's a crock of whatever malarkey, because they can go out and make signatures and make a bunch of money just signing books all day too, and make probably the same amount that they would make drawing a book. And connecting with their fans, and then that's going to build a better rapport down the road. So that keeping them employed or fed or whatever that doesn't apply with me personally. I don't know, maybe with others it does, but I don't think that's. I think it's just a way for people to try to especially when it's exclusive variants. And nothing against them, people who do them, but there's just 1,000 of them in there. Look at like the Death of Venomverse. Any of those books, like there's some great covers out there, but there's enough material there that they could put it on something else down the road.
I'm actually reading it right now. I was reading it backstage when I was waiting for Bryan.
yeah. I mean, I haven't got a chance to read any of it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. But there's some really, really badass stuff out there, And I commented, I think yesterday or when we were doing the show, how, there was a book that had like, what was that book that had kind of a gimmick to it, Bryan, that we were saying it sounded kind of like what Dinesh was doing when they kind of do it. It was one of those newer books coming out.
Oh, the book with the coupon, maybe?
Something like that. Something that was recently coming out. It's not, I don't think it was put out by a Bad Idea, but it was put out by someone else. But it was just like, oh, it's like, I love that stuff. I absolutely love that stuff. When I went to the LCS, and was waiting in line in the morning and get into the shop, and they didn't give me the pin because they knew that I didn't click or wasn't there for it because I didn't have any idea. The guy next to me was getting it. And I was like, well, hold on a second. I was here first. So what is this? And they told me what it was. And I was like, well, I'm actually here first before this guy. Now I let the guy have the pin or whatever, because again, he was something he wanted. I wasn't going to take that away from him. Yeah. But the idea,
but that they skipped you over despite the rule, right? That the first person in line gets. Yeah, I mean, so you technically should have had right of refusal or whatever, even though you knew the person behind you was after that.
So what it was that I didn't ask for the particular book, I don't believe, and you have to ask for it. But they didn't give me an opportunity to ask. They just pulled it out right away and gave it to him. And then I was like, whoa, how do you know I didn't want that? And they're like, well, do you want this? And I was like, well, no, you can give it to him, but like, you at least give me an opportunity. But I love those things like with that idea. Like a lot of people think it's so stupid and gimmicky, but it makes things fun. And I love things that make things fun. Like I can watch a movie, and it might be a bad movie, but the visual effects are cool, or it's got some funny clip, zingers or whatever it means, and I had fun with it. I'm going to like that movie.
Yeah.
It didn't have to be the greatest storyline all the time.
I think that another thing that's happening is there is the change in the collecting is happening, right? What people are looking for. Like there's Dave Stevens is becoming a big spec play, right? He was never a spec play back in the day. We could never understand why Dave Stevens books didn't sell for higher. Now Dave Stevens are starting to sell really good. People are looking for the nostalgia books that they loved when they were kids, and a lot of these kids are younger than us. They're looking for Sonic books or Street Fighter books or stuff like that. Those books are really taking off. Manga books are taking off. That's a good spec play. I think that's a decent spec play. That's
Venom Boy.
Venom Boy.
Manga, right? That's a play on manga right there. And that's the type of stuff that's changing. And then but at the same time, we're getting a little bit older. And now we're out searching for things like Thrasher Comics, Garbage Pail Kids,
those two. I can probably get both Registries.
Yeah.
If you think about it, what you're doing is you're leaning into that because that's the next thing that you can think of that might be rare, that might be harder to find out there, and it gives you a new focus to be able to go and try to go to
that thing that you're talking about. It's original art. To me, original art is what we should all be searching for right now. If when it comes to speculation to make money, right? Original art's the play. And there was a really good story about that in Bleeding Cool this week that I want to show you guys. You guys are going to trip the fuck out about. This is about the 14-year-old who bought Giant Size X-Men #1 cover for $45 back in 1985.
You bought it in 1985 for $14?
45, right?
In 1985 he got it for that much?
1985 for $45.
So with inflation, that would be about $1,000 now, right?
That's the OA of the cover?
The original art. So check this out. He says, quote, "I bought this at San Diego Comic-Con in 1985. I would have been 14 or 15, and I think this may have been my second ever OA purchase. The dealer's table was a small end cap on the side of the dealer's room and had probably a dozen 3 or 4 inch stacks of art. No Kirby, no John Byrne, no Frank Miller on the table at all. Just a lot of interior pages with what seemed like a very high ratio of characters out of costume talking, and pages that would be set up for pages you'd actually want to own. Only one other cover there I can recall, a Tales of Green Lantern issue with Guy Gardner holding the lantern, standing in the shadows. It just sold on Heritage last month, actually." I love it. Yeah, nice little tidbit there. A great stark image that I really loved, but it was $50. And that was a definite dent in my con budget. At the bottom of the stack of particularly C and D quality material interior pages was also this piece, also $50. The dealer wanted $50 for this piece, and it was at the bottom of the pile. The dealer was careful to explain that it was an amalgam of stats with corrections and title dress, no art. But even though Giant Size X-Men was only 10 years old at that point and it was already an iconic cover, so I decided to pull the trigger and grab it. Being that kid at the time, though, I had to haggle the guy down from 50 to 45. I remember that he really didn't want to budge on a $5, but I was relentless and I got it. And as I was walking off with it under my arm, I was clobbered with buyer's remorse. I felt like I had just bought a glorified photocopy and passed on actual art. The Tales of Green Lantern cover. So I went back to the dealer to try and get my money back, but he refused. His revenge on the annoying dork with braces is what he called it. In retrospect, I'm glad it didn't occur to me to ask him to just swap it for the Tales of Green Lantern. I honestly don't know why I didn't, because that one I really wanted. So basically, it was the artboard used to create the cover used in Giant Size X-Men #1, the relaunch for X-Men by Lynn Wein and Dave Cockrum that formed the basis for the modern-day version of the X-Men, and it was created by pasting down photocopied bits of art. But nevertheless, it's one of the most important comic book covers in American comic books.
Wow, that's so sick. That's awesome.
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny too, because when you look at like stuff like this, back then there was you probably could come across it and see things and look past it and whatnot. But today there's so much research done on items like this, and there's so much information out there that it becomes tough to find things that are in the wild that are unique like this, because there's so many people looking for it and there's so much information on what everything is. So I guess in a sense that makes the hunting game even that much more tougher, and it kind of gives you that much more sense of like kick-assness whenever you do find something like this in a rare, as in these days.
Yeah.
Again, that day that was like probably looked at, like you said, it kind of like really not really. It was more of a piece of more of like a trash.
People didn't really care for original art back then as much as we care for it nowadays, because we look at it as the original, the one of one.
Well, if you notice, if you buy from older artists and stuff like that, they kind of have like really reasonable prices if you really think about it. Like just looking through their like whatever portfolio they bring to sell at whatever con, if they're not selling through some like third party like selling whatever
jack up pricer,
if they're just selling it for themselves, they're really reasonable in their pricing. You know what I mean? Like most of the time, like when it's sold through a dealer or whatever, it's marked up, so that's dealer can stay as an original art dealer, right? But anyways, if you're buying directly from artists, it's a lot cheaper. So I feel like they still have that mentality of, I guess, not knowing exactly what their art could potentially go for.
So McClay, do you think because there are so many different variants that we see, and we do have so many different options when it comes to like covers and whatnot, that is what's driven our taste in art to become more curated than in the past when there was just like maybe one or two covers? Now you have more options.
Well, wouldn't it be finite at this point now as well too, with so many people doing digital art? At best right now, for current artists, if you're buying their art, you can get like prelim drawings of whatever cover.
Yeah, that would be cool. That would be a cool collection to have.
There's less art nowadays in original art just because there's so many people are not doing pen to paper or art. They're doing CG.
You're not submitting art like on these framed pictures anymore, right?
And
Yeah,
that's
who's doing
why
it like this?
That's why this was only $45 because people looked at this as not original art. They looked at it as they're just taking Photoshoppy images and cutting them. And
It was like a
putting them on
scrap.
there. Yeah, and if you've seen how Dave McKean that did all the Sandman covers, if you've seen how those covers are made, they're 3D works of art. They're these huge pieces, these almost functional art pieces that they take photographs of and use as the original cover. If you own one of those, it's this huge functional art piece. They're beautiful. So again, art changes, and that's why there's always that saying that art it's subjective to the beholder, right? Some people would look at that Dave McKean piece and be like, "There's no way I'm paying $50,000 to $100,000 or more for that piece." And then there's other people that are like, "Yeah, I'd love to have that."
Well, if you look at someone like David Mack, if you look at his OA, it's not the full cover; it's layers of it. So you only get like parts of what he ends up building off of. Like I saw a bunch of what Hive had at one point in time from David Mack, and it wasn't all just one cover on one piece. It was just like just layers of it, like where one drawing might just be like the outline of the person with a handful of details.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this on card collecting, because I noticed something that's kind of weird with sports card collecting. So being that I'm I came from comic books. To me, when something's more scarce or rare or harder to find, that usually makes it that more of a collectible item. And we usually the value of it will reflect that because it's scarcer or there's less of it out there. But it seems like in football cards and whatnot, football cards specifically because I do that. That's what I collect. That if it's a scarce item, or maybe a set that maybe not doesn't have like a retail aspect to it or something like that, that the value of the cards are not, they don't really, it doesn't impact the value of the card as much. And it's almost like the value of the card is actually lower because there's not as many people that maybe know about it. And so there's not people looking for it. And so it's like the scarcity of it doesn't really make a difference. It actually is better if it's more popular and more people know about it.
Well, I mean, so I think I was watching one of the card influencers earlier today, and they were kind of summed this up basically. Like they were talking about a player that you could buy their gold vinyl, or you could buy their like silver, prism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they were saying that you could pick up their silver prism for like $300 in whatever grade, like probably a PSA 10, or you could buy one card of this gold vinyl, which is a 1 of 1 for like $6,000. At best, you're gonna get like what, 8 to 10 grand on this card, but then like at the same time, the pool of buyers gets a lot smaller at those prices, at those higher prices, versus that $300 card that you bought, or a bunch of the silvers, and then if the player pops off, you can sell them for like $500 a piece. So it's just being more liquid, right? So it's just depends.
One thing I want to talk about the cards is we brought it up earlier. It's the fucking Wander Franco stuff, and this fucking guy, man, holy shit, he's making me want to get out of card collecting altogether. I've got some news to talk about on him. If you guys don't know what's going on, there are some allegations about this kid. If you guys don't remember us talking about him, we've talked about him quite a bit on this channel and other channels before, many shows. He was the #1 prospect out of Dominican Republic at 16. He got signed at 16, I think, by the Yankees. He signed like a $4 million contract at 16 in the Dominican Republic, highest ever paid until Jason Dominguez got signed a few years later. And he was, 2019 Bowman, which is when I got back into cards, and I bought a ton of those mega boxes, and I had a ton of Wander Franco first Bowman. So I've been specking on this guy for a while, and just getting ready to send in a ton of those first Bowmans into PSA because he's been playing well. He was on the downturn, so I was kind of waiting for him to start playing well. He's playing well. Going to send him in, and this news comes out. The news is that it started on social media. There's some of these weird pictures showing him with this young girl, and
Oh no.
here is the supposed story that's coming out of the Dominican Republic, and none of
God
this
dang it.
we know is true. This is all rumors right now. But no matter what, it doesn't sound good, and I don't care if he didn't do it. His cards are going to take a shit no matter what. All right,
Absolutely.
he's just it's unfortunate, and that's just the way it is. So
Especially the
if
road
he
that you're
did
about
do
to
it,
go
if
down.
he
I
did
can
do
see
it,
that.
fucking jail. Get rid of the fucking guy. The same shit that happened to the Yankees guy. Put him in jail. So, anyways, here's what's going down. This is what we're hearing. This is from. I have some insider knowledge. Okay, I'll just say this. Some insider knowledge. It's coming from some sources I got that Wander was supposedly boyfriend and girlfriend with this girl, or hanging out with this girl, friends with her when he was 17 and she was 13. And that is the story. And when he turned 18, he came over to the United States and he said he wasn't going to see her until she turned 18. The families of the two people are the ones that set it up, that set up this thing. And so when he left, he said, I'm not going to come back I'll see you until you're 18, but he has pictures with her, and, that's what that's a story. That's what they're saying is. Now, it's still fucking weird, man. If that's even the story, it's still weird. But at the same
Yeah, because
time,
even at that age,
yeah.
I mean, what 17-year-old dude is trying to hang out with a 13-year-old girl?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm not giving any benefit of doubt on anything. Here's what I'm saying. Third world countries do things a little different sometimes with how they set up relationships. It's kind of
I get that.
interesting, So that being said, it's still fucking gross. It's
weird.
But I did hear a really inappropriate dark humor joke on Shane Gillis' podcast the other night where Shane Gillis' friend asked him, because Shane Gillis is like really religious, and Shane Gillis' friend asked him like, God made them able to have kids at 13. There's a fucking problem there, and that's just a bad humor joke.
Yeah, that's really distasteful.
Wait, you said Shane's religious?
Yeah, Shane Gillis is religious, so they're just always making fun of him about God being a piece of shit. So, anyways, the way they set up, perfect timing on that soundboard. I tell you, Brad, way to fucking, I need to pay you. The R. Kelly of Dominican Republic. I don't know if he's peeing on her, but anyways, it doesn't look good. So because of this, the Tampa Bay Rays put him on, what is it? It's the same thing that they...
Temporary leave of absence?
Yeah, temporary leave of absence, yeah. He's not on the road trip. Here's the funny thing. Another bad dark humor. Get ready, Brad. The day that this got announced, in the game he was taken out of, they took him out of the game that day, was the same day that they were giving Wander Franco special hats to 14-year-olds and under. And that's a true story.
That is crazy.
That's accurate.
It's a fucking sad thing. It's a sick hat. I would have been sad that I couldn't get one.
Yeah.
Man, whoever does promo stuff, like
look
like Nostradamus or something like that.
Hat, dude.
It is a badass hat. I'm gonna show you the hat. Yeah, the hat's cool. Wander Franco, 14-year-old. Nope, don't want to search that. All right, hold on. Where's the hat? Let's see the hat.
Here's
the hat. Looks good. Come on, show the hat. Man, Jesus.
Wherever I first got the story, which I'm sure you put a giveaway hat or something.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. Come on, man.
Oh, that is a cool hat.
Come on, dude. I'd bring a kid to the game. I'll bring 2 kids. Like, you get free tickets, I get 1 hat. You guys share the other one.
That's legit.
I wonder if the hat is like kid size though, right?
I don't know, man. My head, I'm only grown 3 inches since I was 13, so I got no idea. I weighed a lot less, so my hat size bigger for sure.
I gotta admit, dude, that is an amazing hat, dude, with the purple on the brim. Yeah, that's
a little too Lakerish for me, but it's a good looking hat.
Yeah. But so the fact is that this guy is, man, he is down and out, and so are his cards. Let's take a look.
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Right. Let's take a look at his cards. Let's see if we can track the value, the price trend of Wander Franco cards.
I'm only buying Henry Ruggs right now, so
I'm just gonna cry myself to sleep with all my Wander slabs.
Sadly,
I love that soundboard.
I already have a bunch of rugs. So.
I could play on that thing all day, but I can't do it on the computer and be on the show at the same time because
this is
double
hilarious.
echo in my ear.
Wander Franco.
Exactly.
I'll just add it to my jaw pile of cards. So
look at what a PSA 10 is selling for.
Real
Look
talk.
at that drop. Look at that drop. Jesus.
Look at it right there.
$128 on April 3rd, and now it's $35.
And it costs. And if you're doing
what's going on?
And if you're doing value stuff on grading right now, it's $20 a card.
I don't know if I'm going to buy the dip on this one. What do you think, Richie?
No. What's up?
Got the high speculation play right there for sure.
Where'd Richie go? There he is.
Okay,
he's muted.
Well,
I'm getting on a list myself.
I'm actually looking up the new news. Now they're saying there's a second underage girl that wanders linked to the New York Post that's just posted last night.
Oh. I did have to look it up. I haven't been to the DR, but age of consent is 18 there. So it's not necessarily our standards only that they're going by. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
I think that anything about this is fucking cool. I'm just looking it up.
Yeah, well, I think what McClay is saying though, he's saying that they arrange all these things in the
different cultures.
Cultures that like look at that whatever. But I mean, like I hang out in Nicaragua a lot. I think if I started hanging out with someone that was really young, they'd probably look at me kind of cross-eyed.
Well, at the same time, like it's almost impossible, right, to ever recover from the court of public opinion. Like because this news is out, people already have their minds made up.
That drives values. That drives values. The court of public opinion.
Yeah, so like he's never going to be able to recover. I mean, even if it turns out to be all false, like people just making accusations out of nowhere, I don't think he's ever going to recover, unless he becomes like some crazy baseball player that no one can touch. But Otani has that crown right now, so.
Dude, it's 11 years old in Nigeria. What is going on in this world?
I know. That's fucking crazy, dude.
What now? What?
God. Nigeria.
Hold on. I don't want to get this show fucking. YouTube will delete us from existence, man.
Grass on the field play.
That's a good point, dude.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah. Sick humor. Sorry.
Want to touch the hiney?
Here we go, the rabbit hole. But I'm kind of interested in this new New York Post. They're saying that there's a second underage girl. Going back to what you were saying, Brian,
that's just not
your inside source. We talked about it last night, and it was a really good conversation me and him had, and it is a legit inside source he does have, and You said that when he was 17, he was dating. She was 13. He's 22 now. Supposedly she's 17 now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's pretty close. Okay, gotcha. All right. So
now I don't know how true I don't know how true all this is. This is nobody knows information. It's all coming from social media right now. Both baseball and probably the law are getting in on this. So it's.
I mean, that's probably why he's not traveling with the team and all that until this dies.
I mean,
I love these Acetate cards.
A gold chrome 10 numbered to 50 first Bowman for $1,750. You could add another digit to this if this news didn't come out. right? I mean, what was
yeah,
this
100.
thing?
Oh yeah.
Jesus. How about
Well, especially
25 for less than $2,000, dude?
And
look
and
how
then
beautiful that card is, and oh my god, dude, it's just fucking what a great
and then as you
looking
get
card.
close, and then as
Your
you get
anguish
closer and
is
closer and
understood.
closer to the playoff season too, right? And then with the Rays doing so well this
Well,
season,
my anguish, I don't give a fuck
were you
about him.
deep?
I could give two shits about him. My anguish is from my fucking pocketbook, where I was hopefully
Yeah.
going to make $20,000 off of this. And anybody out there who says anything else about like like there's something wrong with that, everybody that fucking has a Wander Franco card for the most part is specking on that thing being worth more money. So go fuck yourself. But that being said,
GFY.
$20,000. I mean, I have 40 mojos that we're getting ready to get to send into PSA. 40 mojos, right? First Bowmans. On top of that, I had a first Bowman mojo auto, a numbered to 150 auto blue. It was just ridiculous, you know. That's a lot of money, and whew, man, that is
I'll tell you what,
to take a
to
hit
the
like
short
that.
for sure.
I'll tell you what. I'm a father, and my son
Awesome.
is, you know, he's a boy, first of all, so society looks at that completely different, which is pretty fucked up. At least it's getting a little more even. But anyways, I do have two niece twins that are about a year younger than my son, and I still look at them as young. And when I heard about this, I thought
look at
about
them too
them.
much.
If they were involved, oh my god, this is
Dude,
like
kill
creeped
this guy.
me the
Yeah.
fuck out. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if there's recovery from this, but on the other hand, I mean, look what's going on with Jonathan Majors. Okay, I know it's not the same thing, but allegations, it's still kind of sexual abuse, this and that. Now there are some pretty solid reports showing that this guy's been innocent the entire time, and he's coming out of this looking like he might come out of it, like, you know, being okay. So I think maybe we should just take a step back and let it play out and see what's going to happen. From an FMV, hang on one second, Reno. My bad. From an FMV point of view, I'm not sure, like Bryan said, if I want to buy the dip on this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, for sure.
look
Like,
at-
if there's anything we've learned as of recently is that you cannot make a judgment on something until you have all the facts, because the social media stuff it's like a story. It's just like reading a book. It can be
what
be
should
completely
and
wrong.
shouldn't be doesn't matter here. We know what's going to happen. Even if he comes out innocent, his cards are still going to be worth shit because there's going to be that attached to his name. It's the same thing like you were saying about Michael Vick. He will always be a piece of shit in my mind, no matter what, because of the dog shit. Even if that really wasn't real, you know, and he was, it would be associated in my mind with him, you know, being a piece of shit for fucking with dogs, right? So now you got people that is messing with. There's two things that you don't do from 90% of the world. There's two things you don't do. You don't fuck with their animals, and you don't fuck with their kids. Period. Right? You just don't do those things. And once that line is crossed, or even thought of being crossed, it's hard to wash that away, man.
Well, look at Justin Rowland. He was proven, I guess, like somewhat innocent or whatever, or, you know, it was settled out of court and all that, but he still doesn't have any work now.
Yeah, that's weird.
I mean,
that's weird.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean, so he never, so he never recovered from it.
Yeah,
I remember.
You know, it's weird in today's society. There's still an opportunity. There's still an opportunity that he could, because look at the dude who played Flash and all the bullshit he did, and now he's like that's, people don't even remember that. I think he's got other movies going on and stuff like that. Even though Flash tanked, I think it probably did tank because of all his bullshit he did. I haven't seen the movie yet, but from what I have heard, the movie was pretty decent. But I mean, he's still going to get more opportunities to do, you know, to work his craft and have his job. I mean, he did some crazy wild stuff. Don't go to sleep, Big Leg. It's gonna be okay, buddy. Drink a Red Bull.
I'm always all right.
Drink a Red Bull.
All
Or
right,
be the bull.
let's get into the market report. I still gotta load it all. Hold on one sec.
Need some new sounds.
Before we get into the market report, I wanted to run down this list of professional athletes that have, been accused
Tiger
of
Woods?
sexual abuse. Okay. You got Tiger Woods. You're right. Diego Maradona. I believe he's a soccer player. Let's see here. Mike Tyson, Kobe Bryant, Deshaun Watson, Ben Roethlisberger, Cristiano Ronaldo, Trevor Bauer, Brett Favre. He also robbed Brett Favre also robbed welfare. Neymar, whoever that, I don't know who that is. Oscar De La Hoya. And there's actually much more.
Yeah, it's funny too, because that's the thing. Like when you're hearing something, when you hear a little something about somebody, you get the very tip of the iceberg, but there's so much more that goes down to it. You just hear, you always hear, what the bad stuff is, but then you don't hear what is maybe actually happening. Because I know that with
all right, here we go.
A lot of these guys, it's not the full complete story.
All right, let's get this going here. Let me set this up. How do I want this to look? All right, we're going to take this.
But people will form their opinion, and that's it.
Here we go. Market report, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. Starting off, we've got some old school books. Top Notch Comics #2 is supposedly the very first swastika printed on a comic book. I don't know. Have you guys ever heard that? I've never heard that.
I just throw it in my listing too, but no fucking idea.
Right? That's crazy, dude. Chat, let us know if you've ever heard that. I didn't know that. That's very interesting. That is a book that people are looking for. I understand why. It's weird with the swastika. It's weird with the swastika because the swastika also in comics, it doesn't necessarily, especially during this time period, it didn't have a bad thing in comics because we were always beating up on them. You know what I mean? You're punching a Nazi. We're not saying
propaganda,
and it's not. And people aren't necessarily collect them because they like Nazis. They like the fact that it's World War II history. It's the United States beating the Nazis and beating, the Axis powers and this and that. And I understand it. So I don't want people to think whenever we show these books, we're ever saying in any way that it's cool to collect, swastikas. It's cool to collect comic books that have Nazis getting beat up on it more than it is cool to collect swastikas, if that makes sense. So
yeah, I just put a link. CGC notes it as the first swastika.
Yeah, nice.
There we go. That's interesting. Next, one of my all-time grails that I'm probably going to start searching more and more for, The Amazing Adventures #4, one of the most famous robot and alien and love covers that you can find. Just an amazing comic book. Amazing Adventures #4, a 4.0 restored, sold for $450, and I think that's worth paying to have that type of book sitting on my wall. That's
C1's just color touch too. So if you know someone that can remove color good or color touch, get that blue label, right?
Fucking Jesus, such a headache.
Yeah.
Just let CCS do it, and you'll probably get a grade bump anyways. Then
I'm gonna ask Matt about that. I got something coming up with where I'm gonna talk to Matt. So I'm definitely gonna want to ask him about stuff like that more often. Famous Funnies #214, one of the all-time great Frazetta covers. This is the Mexican edition, a 2.0, sold for $500, and that's a cool book to me. That's a super cool book. So. I love the Donald Duck first, especially the Carl Barks ones. 4-color, $178. First appearance of Uncle Scrooge, sold for just over $1,000, $1,025 for a VG copy. It presents very well. Look at the color on that. And then, of course, Super Duck issue 43, the classic cover there of them in the vault. $513, and then an old school spec play, the DuckTales Zero Retailer Incentive Design variant.
Dude, is that legit?
Yeah, that's legit, man.
That's a good design variant right there.
Yeah, these are OG.
It's. I mean, I don't like design variants, but that's one of the best.
Yeah, I don't know if it's legit. I don't. The price, the sale. I don't know if it's legit. I don't know if any of these sales are legit ever, to be honest. But
that's too legit to quit, bro. Too legit.
I mean,
where you at, Brad?
Makes me try to. Dude, makes me want to pull those out. Those haven't been out for a while, dude.
Yeah.
Too legit. How's that go? Too something.
Yeah.
The Dirty Bird.
Hold on. Let me find it.
That's only 1 in 10 also.
Finally.
Moving on. Amazing Fantasy 15, first appearance, of course, of Spider-Man. You got a restored cover here. It sold for $15,712.
Have you guys owned that book? Any of you guys?
Never.
Never. The closest I've ever seen was Nate's copy.
I bought it in a Raz with one once.
Have you pressed one, Sean? Have you pressed one?
No. Just paper.
Would you attempt to press it because it's notorious?
Yeah, I don't
absolutely.
It's paper.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Paper's paper, man. Now, shipping insurance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I never
people
knew.
Like they're like, can you fix this $200,000 book? I'm like, I don't want you to mail it to my house. Like if you drive it over here, yeah, and then you drive it to Florida, I'm not taking responsibility or put in an insurance claim for you.
Absolutely.
Can I fix your piece of paper? Yeah, because it's paper. Just change the picture. John Z didn't tell me I had like a $50,000 book. It's foreign. How the fuck do I know?
And you're like, I'm going to ship this media mail. No, I'm just joking.
No, he had me send it express with no insurance. I was like, he's all because his brother works for the post office, and he's like, yeah, that's what they take the best care of. I'm like, okay, no problem.
Sounds
Orange
like
Spider-Man, whoop-de-doo.
Yeah.
Big Booty Gwen, highest copy ever graded. Okay.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I didn't want to freak you out. I'm like, you wouldn't have freaked me out, dude.
I've just been worried that it wasn't going to get here.
Yeah. Literally that's it. It's like I don't always want the insurance hassle. Depending, I had people in like Quebec wanting to send me stuff. You know what I mean? 6-figure books. I'm like, dude, like, just fly to Sarasota.
Yeah.
Let them do that shit for that price. You know.
Hey, Doc Joe, 9.8 or bust. Like, if
right,
you had
Joe?
if you had an AF15, not impressive. 9.8 or bust. Sorry.
Yeah.
Dude, had to.
More jaw reconstructions, dude. Come on, 9.8 or bust.
This vintage 1966 Batman parachute figure. How freaking cool is this? Still on card. It's a little plastic Batman with a parachute on its back that you throw off your parents' roof when you're a kid. Or you climb to the highest tree or the highest flagpole just to throw them. Or you shoot them. You attach a golf ball in the parachute and then launch it with a water balloon launcher into the sky, and then who cares where the golf ball goes, because you know it's just going to go flying forward, and then the parachute is going to fall down with your GI Joe on it. I didn't do that ever.
I never did the golf ball one. But,
really?
Yeah, I never figured that out.
Just to try to make it go farther.
I just risked my life on my own roof.
Yeah.
With a bad throw, spiking a fucking cheap ass garbage bag, 7-Eleven bag attached to a less than quarter of a tenth of an ounce figure to see if it would float. And no.
Yeah. Well, this sold for $200, and then I'm really bummed I missed out on this. Big time bummed. I would have bought this for $461. This is the book that I was talking about the other week. The other book that I would buy a Stan Lee signature or want to own a Stan Lee signature on. The Comics Reader 179, the famous Stan Lee April Fool's is Dead issue, right? Is that what this is? Stan Lee? Yeah. And it's signed with a decent signature, it looks like, for $461, a 9.6 signature series with the Stan Lee label. Great buy. All right. Spawn 10 from the Indiegogo. Did you guys, we talked about this a long time ago. Do you guys know about this? Do you guys remember talking about this?
Actually.
All right.
I think it's been a minute, but
yeah. So This comes from the Spawn 10 Indiegogo Kickstarter thing, where I'm going to bring it up. I had it, but I accidentally closed it. Spawn 10 remastered and expanded. All right, check this out. Dave Sims Cerebus in a new edition of his classic 1993 collaboration with Todd McFarlane. So you got Dave Sim went and redid art on his Todd McFarlane Spawn number 10. Here's the original. You get an updated version of the cover by him with McFarlane, and then he did some remastered pages, I guess, and inside on the guts. But check out these covers, right, that you could have got. Look at this one right here. That is freaking awesome, that cover D. And if that's like a hollow chrome version of that, I have to find one of these.
We're not seeing your screen.
Yeah.
You're not seeing it? Oh my God, you guys. Holy cow. I apologize. Look at this.
Wow.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Like, look at that, dude.
Maui,
These are the 4 covers. But there's also a gold variant set. The gold variant for that's pretty nice. And then they did these Platinum variant set, signed and numbered by Dave Sim, and they're like a play on the old EC. Right? Look at all these books that you got with this. So I'd love to know if there's anybody out there that bought in on this. Tell me if that's a holochrome cover. I definitely want to know, because that is definitely one of the coolest Kickstarter sets that I've seen. So be on the lookout. And then if anybody in chat knows about it, there's the variant C, a 9/8 signed by McFarlane, sold for $483. Another couple of other issues sold, but not as good as looking as that.
Was this Indiegogo? Was this like right before pandemic?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Had to have been.
So.
But before the Spawn action figures relaunch thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have more. Darkstalkers Morgan #1, the Art Germ Megacon. A 9/8 sold for $314. Limited to 200 on that one. Super crazy Art Germ Ghost. $314.
I picked up one of those for someone before.
Yeah. Yep. Very, very tough to come by too, right?
Yeah. I was so I went to that panel, and when you bought a ticket to attend that, they gave you a trade and a version of that book. And then it was Art Germ's panel with other artists that work at his school, right? Or that like Derek Chu was on the panel, Kendrick, and I forget the other person that was on the panel.
Shout out to Comix.
It is. Yeah. Yeah, because he paid for my to attend that panel because he wanted those books and the storefolio that it came with. Yeah. And then I saw that the package included autographs. I was like, do you want anything signed? And he's like, nah, I'm good, or whatever. And so with the signatures, I ended up taking them to, charging people like the cost of it or whatever to get the book CGC'd and all that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of nice.
Nice play. Good job.
Yeah.
Street Fighter #6, the Evolution Special. Was this the San Diego Comic-Con one? No, Evo. Where was Evo? What's Evo?
Isn't that the gaming convention or tournament, right?
Okay. So that is a crazy book right there. 38 bids, $300. I've never seen that. It's new. Be on the lookout for it.
Dude, I sold those Udon bikinis that we got at San Diego.
For how much?
Like 100.
For both?
But
a piece?
I think I bought three, and it was total. But one had a crease I didn't see, like a bend that I don't think would come out because of the plastic cover. Literally the entire length of the front cover.
Ooh.
So I marked it. I mean, I had to mark it accordingly and, document it in the listing. Like, this is what's up, but no, I mean, it was a pretty good flip. So
not bad. I'm actually,
it's a gaming tourney.
Yeah, it's a gaming tourney. I'm actually going to send a bunch of those in to get graded. A bunch of those books that we bought, just because I think that the better play is grading a bunch of them. So I'm gonna do that probably this week. We're gonna talk about one of them or some of them a little bit later. But all right, here we go. Moving on. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #4, the second printing, 9/8 sold for $2,600 on 34 bids.
Oh my fuck.
Yeah. Yep. That's a lot.
Good Lord.
And then Futurama, the Delivery Boy Man #1. Shout out to Ben Stein, who put this on a almost 10 back in the day. This is the Action Comics homage. And this sold for $310 raw.
That's amazing.
Yeah. It's crazy. And that's a super, super rare book that they gave out, I think, at SDCC, I believe. Chat, let me know. I know there's some people that are Simpsons collectors in here. And then Uncharted #1, the 9/8 Adam Hughes, sold for $1,000. It's a tough Adam Hughes variant right there. Very tough Adam Hughes variant.
Isn't that kind of low for that book? In a 9/8?
I thought probably that book used to be super high. It used to be like a $1,200 book, if I remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say it wasn't like. Yeah, I want to say it was easily over $1,000. Like, I want to say like what Raws were selling for at least 600.
Yeah. So that's a crazy tough Adam Hughes. Adam Hughes books are weird right now. Like, there's certain ones that used to be the hot ones that are selling for cheap, like that. What's that one Adam Hughes? The space one that's like the Dave Stevens homage.
Oh,
that has the Bruce Timm variant.
Oh,
Dirt. Yeah. What is it?
It's Dirty Pair, right?
Dirty Pair. Yeah, Dirty Pair.
I forget what issue number, but
yeah, that's like you can get that for like $200 now, I think. You know.
And a 9/8.
How much are they selling for 9/8? Let me look. I want to say that. Let me see. Maybe I could be way off.
Dang, I might be buying one Friday then.
All right.
You're buying it this Friday.
No, 9/8s are. Hold on. You can get a 9/8 for right now less than $400. No, $475.
That's not too bad for Adam Hughes 9/8.
The last one, a raw set sold of the Bruce Timm and the Adam Hughes for $121 the other day, and a 9/8 sold for $450 the same day. No, 5 days later. So
for how shitty that movie was, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Moving on. Look at this. What is going on here? Amazing Spider-Man 667. The 1 in 100. A signature series 8.0 with a sketch on it. Idiot. Whoever did this is a moron. It's got a Ramos sketch. It's got a Ramos sketch on a Del Auto variant.
Got it sketched in February, and I guess he's trying to recreate the Kirsten Dunst kiss.
What a moron.
Yeah, good eye. Yeah.
Fuck out of here with that trash, dude.
What a complete and utter moron. And I am so sorry if this is somebody out there that is watching, because this is
where's that soundboard?
This has got to be the dumbest spec play in a long time. You just ruined. You could have sold that book for more without that sketch on it, I think.
Like $8,000.
Oh,
yeah,
easily.
Let somebody else hope they can get a.
Should have put Tom McFarlane's signature on there too with it.
What does Ramos have to do with this book?
His name's on the cover above Spider Island. There, he did the interiors.
Or he did the art. Sorry, he didn't write it. He did the interiors. Yeah, write it.
So you just put
his name's on the cover. I'm 90% sure it's the interiors.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slots the writer.
Gotcha. All right. So at least he's related to the book. So
I'm getting that, dude, but it's like,
but yeah.
Yeah.
Again, there's so much blank space that he could have used too. But I mean, I guess I get the comedy aspect of it, right?
I mean, can you take a sketch like that off? You guys? No.
No, it's not.
Yeah, you got some scissors.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Someone else to remark over it.
I always thought I felt like there's got like they do that in cards where they'll remove autographs. On cards.
But that's restoration. That's restoration, I think.
But it probably also depends on what he used to mark it up.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I'm sure Hood would be like, if you mix these fucking crazy chemicals and is it considered restoration if you take off a sketch?
Well, I mean, you're probably gonna have to use something harsh that will make it restoration. Some kind of really abrasive or something that has chemical.
Yeah, I don't know how you get it back to white.
Yeah. I mean,
there are people that can sure as shit do that a whole lot.
A razor blade? No, I don't think a razor blade's going to take that off.
I don't know how.
Yeah,
Gooby gun.
Max City says Ramos did the interiors.
Yeah,
this guy.
Man, $5,768. When was the last raw one that sold?
Don't remember.
Do you remember how much it sold for? Chat, let us know if you know, because that's what that would sell for. He just didn't get the sketch on it.
This,
like a moron.
So this is off subject, on subject, off subject. Looking at OfferUp, and there's this thing for a mystery box for cards, and they're giving examples of what's in there, and they got a Brock Purdy, a Prism, silver, and it said Gem 10, this is a raw card. They're giving a comparison. Gem 10 comps at $500.
Yeah. Well, here's
I want to find out.
Here's two Ultimate Fallout 4, two acetate covers from C2E2, you guys, that are... We talked about this the other day, about how people will just buy this book now because it's cheap enough, and they're like, it's a funny part of history now, it's a funny story, or they like the cover, it's cheap enough for them to buy now. And the 9.9 Ultimate Fallout 4 acetate gate cover for sold for $400 in a 9.9 signature series, Clayton Crane. How crazy is that?
Do you correct the typos on the back for him?
I doubt it.
Well,
they should have put acetate gate on it. It made more money that way.
It did. It says oh no, they didn't. Yeah.
It didn't say the gate.
Yeah.
right, nerdy girl on there.
Well, they also, that Deadpool taco one is the same one that's sold at the same con. It's an acetate book.
Oh, well, no, the Deadpool one was supposed to sell at the next con, and they ended up pulling it, and then that was the one that they took off the census as well, because no one. So it's kind of crazy to see that one with just a solid yellow label.
Because
with a murder signature.
CGC actually took it off the census.
Yeah, there's no trace of it on the census. Like it used to have book? For the book, the Deadpool one. Like, because it was never released at that con, the next con, because of everything that was going on. So like it was C2E2, and then that book and another book were supposed to be released for Boston Fan Expo or something like that. But then that's when Black Flag had all those dum-dums on their table instead.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I think that's a good buy, actually, because if it doesn't exist on the census and it's still floating around in a yellow label case without the green label on top of it too, that's just my opinion, though. But
yeah.
What do I do?
Yeah. Halloween #1 is a book that I really want to own. I love this. I collect jack-o'-lantern covers and jack-o'-lantern art and stuff, so I gotta find me one of these. But this is a 9.2 green label. It's limited to 6,666. It's a glow-in-the-dark cover. It sold for $380. It is a
Glow in the
Chaos
Dark, that's
Comics.
cool.
Shout out to Brian Polito for that just great book right there. Amazing.
I just
The
love glow in the dark covers, man.
The last 667 raw that I can find actually sold about 5 weeks ago for $72.55.
Oh wow!
So two grand or whatever it was, or 1,500. There we go. Yeah, so whatever, 1,400.
Wow.
1,500. Yeah. So anyway.
For for how much was it for? It was for the 667.
$7,255.55.
Raw.
For raw.
Yeah,
So,
raw.
wow.
Cover price has it listed as not 9.2 raw. Before that, 2020, what they think is a 9.0 raw sold for 5,000 flat.
Shout out cover price. Love
7.0 to 8.5 in 2019 was 2,500. Actually, if you're gonna go, and then the other raw sales were between 2019 and 2020. That no sign grade. 6,500, 6,500, 5,800, 6,900, 8,500. So yeah, he lost money.
Damn.
And God knows what they charged him to grade it too. So, because that thing only got signed in February, I think. That he had that drawn on there in February.
Man.
And I think they retired that Spidey label, which might be Ramos or is it Campbell? I don't know.
Great question. It's weird that they retire them. Run the Jewels. A raw copy sold for $800. The Scotty Young book. And here we go. Somebody got a really good deal. They got both Transformers, the black and white and the color, raw for $479.
I love the color.
So the so was it about 875 and 9.8 of the sketch, and then the 9.9 within 1 or 2 minutes of that auction sold for what, over 1,300?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, well, wasn't the 9.9 a buy it now as well?
Yeah. Clutch had the 9.9. That's fine. He's like, well, can't complain about that, but I mean, literally, straight off the press, 9.9. So,
man.
Well, I mean, I guess if you were watching that 9.8 and really cared that much, then you would have bumped up your price. But like someone that obviously lost out was like, "Oh, I have to have this," and then
it jumped.
Boom, I got a 9.9
for a new book, man. I don't blame him for. Yes, it was not best offer. It was what he had it at. I'm not sure that anybody, even though it was $400 for the raw, and most of the ones we've seen they're close to 9.8. Like but then again, they were handing some of these out to the people that just wanted to go to the Transformer panels. So these are people that just went full
collector.
Yeah, full 2015 Melvon and just shoved it in their backpack.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Fucking
bag
board,
no bag of board, like
yeah,
portfolio or
like what? Yeah. You just put it in your backpack, right? Yeah, no.
Like they open the back, catch it in there.
Yeah, man. So that's it.
I like the
why I
second
always bring
print.
back some boards. So.
I like the second print Void Rivals. Three Rivers is asking which Void Rivals to invest in. I like that second print one more than anything. But
number one second print with Jetfire on the cover.
Yeah.
Have you seen the third print?
Catch anybody by surprise, but I agree with you that I love the cover.
Yeah.
The third print's pretty cool too.
I think the 1 in 100 is probably the best to invest in. And then I hate to say it, but the only reason I hate to say it is because it is an ash can and it isn't a panel exclusive. And one of those might be a good something to pick up if you're a Transformers fan. If you're not and you just want to get it, if you're just doing it to invest, they're definitely not. But if you have a little bit of love for it, I think maybe picking up one of those.
That being said, I am looking for a number one.
The 1 in 100.
A number one of any of them. I don't have any. I didn't get to get a number one.
Void
Wait,
Rivals?
so just like the A cover?
Yeah, just.
Dude, we'll meet up. I'll give you a copy. I have an extra one.
Go.
All right, sweet. Yeah, okay. I'll hook you up with something.
Yeah.
Done. Bang.
You could probably find some Void Rivals first covers in stores still.
Oh yeah.
Well, I went to our local one and I had them search all through, and they said they couldn't find one. I have it on my pull list, but they didn't get it in on time when they did the number one, so they're trying to find it. And I'm still looking.
This to me is one of the coolest things on the list tonight. This is Doom number 1, the GT Interactive Software 1996 E3 promotional convention variant. Yes, crazy rare book. Sold for 1,250 pounds, which is however much American.
Yeah, how much is that American?
I've never seen that book. I've only talked about it in market reports. That's a crazy book. Let me see if I can find more information on it. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it was a freaking convention promo. And there's not much information on it. Let's see if we can find some promotion E3 comic. Here we go. The Doom comic. It's a 16-page comic book written in 1996 with art and color designed by Tom Grinberg and lettering by Ed Fear, written by Steve Belling and Michael Stewart. All contributors were credited with gory nicknames to fit the theme of the work. It was initially produced for Marvel Comics as a giveaway, according to former ID Software business manager Mike Wilson, for the the Electronic Entertainment Expo in 1996. The comic was not originally well received, and it was quietly forgotten for several years after its release. However, it gained significant attention in 1999 when it was reviewed on Planet Quake, the website. That's interesting. Man, these things are crazy. Original edition is printed on white paper. Let's see here. That's a super crazy comic book. Man, they go really in depth on some of these fandoms. The Doom comic was used by ID Software as part of the swag given to participants in the final Doom project. Team TNT coordinator Ty Halderman referred to it as rather lame. Wow. So they thought it was a shitty giveaway.
Which one is this? The Doom one?
Yeah, then Doom number 1, not the one in the middle, the first one. That's crazy. It says the comic is heavily alluded to by Doom Eternal in achievement and milestone names, Easter eggs, and even spoken lines of dialogue and song lyrics, particularly the phrases "rip and tear" and "huge guts." It says that's interesting. I don't know what they get crazy in some of these things, man. Very interesting. So, for all you Doom fans, be on the lookout. And then, of course, the middle one, Resident Evil, the famous. There's another famous promo book that has a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. A 9.8 sold for $811. This book was selling for that raw during the pandemic. I mean, that book was crazy.
I was gonna say that was pretty low for a graded 9.8, right?
Yeah.
Is it? No, it's not. The Resident Evil one?
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Bitter Root number 1, it is CBCS 9.8, but that is a killer Akira homage. It's probably the best one of all the Akira homages, right? Is there a better one?
Yeah, that's the eBay one. So that was right.
Am I wrong?
That's eBay variant. Super. Oh, what?
Oh, is that the best Akira homage?
Yeah.
I like it.
I like it a lot.
Was it only on eBay?
Isn't that their cover? But it's why it's the most limited one.
I don't know.
I could be fucking wrong, dude. I'll try to look it up.
So eBay did exclusive comics for that? That's crazy.
Well, eBay will release a comic every so often. It's not very often, but they've done it before in the past.
It's an eBay comic.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's nuts. I need to get one of those.
Yeah, it doesn't say. There's a VF. I found a VF for $250 with no back scan.
Yeah, Jesus.
Easy to press though.
Next, the Deadpool number 2 1 in 100 hip hop variant sold the 9.8 for $660. this famous Vanilla Ice homage. And then
That's not too bad for a Deadpool 1 in 100.
Well, we all thought the other 1 in 100 was going to be a great spec play too. The Sugar Hill Gang one.
Yeah.
And that one you can get for so damn cheap, you know.
Like what, $40, $50, something like that.
Young Allies number 6. There is a raw and a graded sale for you both. The raw $6.76 and the graded is a 9. Is it an 8.0 or 9.0? I can't really tell.
9.0.
9.0 for $7.65. Super.
That's not bad for a 9. Not bad for a 9.0.
That's a rare book. That's for sure. ESPN The Body issue, a 9.8 with it's the Superheroes edition with Hulk on the cover. And this is what we're going to start seeing more of these great magazines being graded. I'm sending off a ton to get graded here soon. I know there's a lot of people that are fans of the show that collect magazines that are doing the same. $350 that sold for. Yeah, it was for a charity, but still, that's a cool looking 9.8 magazine for sure. And then I don't know what this is. It looks badass. This is from it says Transformers Generation Studio Series Return of the Beast Optimus Primal, and it looks badass. It sold for $1,350. I don't know how big it is. I don't know what the toy is. I was hoping that chat or anybody watching on the replay will know more about it, but that is super cool looking. I thought that the Beast Wars movie was pretty good. I love the Beast Wars as a IP. I think they're great. I think the design was great on them. I love the old school cartoons. My brother was a big fan of that growing up, so I still have a bunch of them in a tub that I'm going to probably be selling here soon, so be on the lookout. But Beast Wars were a cool design. SWAT Cats. Don't remember them. It looks a little bit familiar, but I don't remember SWAT Cats as a cartoon.
Oh, that was totally my generation.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, I definitely remember them. It was like a group of cats, and then they flew like jet fighters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, throughout I think within a city of some sort. I don't know. I can't remember. Too many drugs since then.
Yeah. It looks like it's got a He-Man weapon with it, so it looks like some reused molds there, but $183 for a carded figure in 1994.
Dude, it's kind of like the biker
Mice from Mars.
Like kind of like sharks. That form. Yeah, just like that formula, but like more military based, right?
Gotcha.
I'm kind of checking these out. We were backtracking tiny bit. The Void Rivals stuff. So we've got with all the variants and everything for number 1, right? Which is 10 stores plus all the ratios. Right? There was only one. One hit a couple 9.9s out of all those things, but the convention edition, which is it's gonna end up being the rarest for sure. It's got a 10 and a 9.9 with only 6 universals. So out of the 8 copies graded, there's 110 and 199, and those cardstock copies, none of them were given the 9.9s and 10s. But those flimsy paper copies that came off the floor unpressed, they gave 10s and 9.9s.
Wow.
But I have a pressed one at CGC. Let's see how that goes. I'm not holding my breath on a 10. And I took all the fucking printing creases and shit out of it, right?
So I wonder if they had on-site grading at that con.
No, San Diego, no.
Oh, okay, never mind.
This is less than a month ago.
San Diego.
Anyway.
China.
Let's see here. Moving on, we have. Oh, dude, this is crazy to me. All right. So look at this. 1988 starting lineup from Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay were short printed because they weren't a big team. In the 80s, growing up in the early 90s and the 80s, the 2 uniforms that were most hated were the Tampa Bay Orange Creamsicles and the New England Patriots Patriot where he's down on the ball, right? I had those New England Patriots jerseys and logos as my Pop Warner team for years. I hated them. When I look at them now, They are so damn cool. And this 88 starting
Isn't it
lineup
weird?
looks so badass in those creamsicle orange. And that Tom Brady wearing the old school Patriots jersey is such a badass look that I would think about buying both of those. I would think about buying a Brady jersey if I wore jerseys of that old school San Diego just because of how cool it looks. And I'm not a huge Brady person.
Yeah, I have a quick bone to pick with this whole jersey thing really quickly. Do you see the motherfucking Titans are gonna wear the blasphemous
Oilers?
fucking Oilers bullshit?
Yeah, that's
God
kind of
dang
shitty.
it.
Yeah.
It's-
Well, they
it's
should
kinda
be able
funny.
to, kinda. I mean, you know,
It's
What?
technically.
Wait, what'd you
yeah,
say?
they should be able to, kinda.
No,
Technic-
shut up. You
like,
don't know.
They're the original
Technicalities.
Oilers. The
They are
the
not.
Texans
Dude, when
are
they
not
left,
the
the Oilers died. No, I'm not saying the Texans should have to do either. There's no way in the world that the Titans should be able to wear the Oilers freaking jerseys.
I just
That
Yeah,
is
let the
some
Cowboys wear
BS.
them already. you know?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Dude, you're just as bad. That's a terrible thing to say.
Batman
well,
versus
I'm-
Teenage
yeah.
Mutant Ninja Turtles figures from
Sorry,
GameStop.
ugh.
You have them loose. And I didn't know about these figures, but they look badass. And there's a badass Damien figure right there in the upper left. And these are all loose. Look, they sold for over $200 for 8 figures. They look badass though. I don't remember. Were these based on the comic?
Yeah, they don't look like the comic ones.
This was released within the
Weird.
last 5 years.
Those are sick,
I have
dude.
a Generation 1 TMNT, all the weapons and everything, but I don't have any of the boxes or any of that stuff. But they're in really, really good shape, so I don't know if they're worth anything.
Yeah, definitely they are. I really
see.
like the look of these figures though for some reason, and I don't know, maybe Turtle fans might not.
I was gonna give them to my kids to play with, but I guess maybe do something different.
San Diego. Okay, I've talked about these Micro Galaxy Squadron toys before. The which is the one that sells for so much? The chick from the Ghost, not Bo-Katan, Sabine Wren. Sabine Wren sell for a shit ton of these micro, if I remember correctly, the Micro Galaxy Squadrons. Well, here's one that was from San Diego in 2022. It's the hologram style TIE Fighter, and it looks badass. And it sold for $660. I collect all those Star Wars holograph type mold figures, whatever. If they have that holograph look, I collect them. Ever since episode 1 figures came out, and the final case assortment for episode 1 figures had that holograph Darth Sidious that was so hard to find and so badass. And ever since then, I always thought the holograph figures were the coolest. So I collect those. It's gonna be tough finding that one. $660. Fuck that. But there you guys go. I didn't see. Did you see any of those or anything for like that at San Diego this year, Sean?
Not really, man.
Yeah.
I know those. They got rare. I didn't see that this year, but the rare finger fighters and stuff like that. You never know. I found a finger fighter for $100 at a antique mall kind of place up in Oregon, and I eventually sold it for $500 on eBay.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was like a generic. It was like a shitty one, but it was just the rare one because nobody wanted it. And it's Star Wars, dude. So, and my buddy's like, "The fuck kind of toy are you buying, little finger fighter for $100?" I was like, "Just trust me, dude. Somebody's gonna want some Star Wars dude's gonna want this, you know."
They're from.
I got a 10 to a mini me. Thanks for. I'll be checking out. I'll listen the rest of the way. Thanks for letting me know. I have it on for a while. Got to handle up some mini me's over here.
Sounds good, brother.
Later, guys.
Later, Ryan. Yeah, this says those are from 2012 to 14 and were branded Nickelodeon. There we go. All right. Star Wars Micro Galaxy Squadron Series 4 Scout Class. These were blind bag figures for the Micro Galaxy, and this one sold for $212. So crazy what, like Sean said, and the weirdest things can sell for ridiculous money, so you never know. And then, of course, and Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, a WADA 8.0 that every single one of us watching the show wants right now, I guarantee. If not, there's some problem with you. or you just didn't play it. $6,308 for an 8.0.
I was
Mike
1
Tyson's
year
budget.
old, you know.
Yeah, but you still would want that, right?
Yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
Dude, I
did.
loved it, man. It took me forever. And I went legit. I didn't have a code to get there.
I couldn't even beat Mike Tyson with the code, bro. So I would
'Cause you
get the
weren't
Super
supposed to
Macho
beat
Man,
it.
and I would get lucky if I beat Super Macho Man. So,
But I wouldn't pay $6,000 for this game. So
I'd love to
Yeah.
have it.
yeah, I'd love to have it for sure.
On
Yeah.
these things and the VHS and stuff like that, I know it's the same way. I feel like me when I started getting integrated comics. I'll be like, man, I just want a copy. And I'm like, fuck
Yeah.
that, man. I want the best copy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. well, that's what happened when I was getting back into comics. Like, I was asking my friend who was already in the space. I was like, "Hey, what is this CGC thing? Like, what are graded comics?" And he's like, "You don't want to get involved with that. Like, don't do that." So, and then I started looking more into it, and I was like, oh, I kind of wanted to get into this. Like, that sounds cool.
Yeah, teaching my friend video poker in Vegas at the bar next to the pad and the bartender, because I lived next door. And he was like, "Hey man, I thought this was your friend." I was like, "Oh, this is my best friend growing up." And he's like, "Then why are you teaching him to play?"
Yeah.
Because he's sitting here literally just gonna lose money. And I was like, "That's a good point, man. That's a good point."
Moving on. I collect the Uncle Sam posters and homages of the famous Uncle Sam. You know, we want you for the U.S. military. I collect those. I got all the Mad Magazine ones. I have this. Back when Seattle legalized cannabis, they made these badass posters that they handed out. These beautiful posters of Uncle Sam, and he's like all in emerald green, and he's smoking a joint, but it looks just like the old school poster. So I collect those. I collect all the the Arthur Sidem covers. I'd love to have a print of it. I have the Uncle Sam Alex Ross prints, the one where he's choking himself and the one where he's flipping you off. They're just cool to me. It's just something that I collect. I don't know why, but I thought this was really cool, seeing that it's a vintage original Mego Planet of the Apes figure promo poster, which is super, super cool to me. $1,000 for that. And yeah. I don't necessarily know if I would want to put that up on my wall because I'm not a big Planet of the Apes fan, but I think it's cool.
41 by 27. That's pretty big too,
right?
That's a big ass poster, dude.
Yeah, that's like movie size poster, right?
And I have the frames to fit it, bro. I'm just waiting to find something to put in them. Iron Maiden Virus shirt from 1996 sold for $575. Jesus. If only we were smarter.
Nerds.
Yeah.
What is a nerd?
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. If only we were smarter nerds, we would have bought those.
So you're saying that
96 also, it's not 76.
That was too damn long of a clip.
So
yeah,
I
you're not
have
supposed to click it.
So if I wait like 10 more years for all the band shirts I saved, punk bands and stuff like that, there's a chance that
they're already
might
selling
be
for this much, bro.
Oh, really? So I should start
Yeah.
just taking all those old shirts I don't wear anymore and throw them
What
on
apartment?
eBay?
Dude, I got rid of some, man. I'm a fucking idiot.
I
What's
think
up,
I have
bro?
an old school AF5 one from like 2000.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's
Yeah.
up?
Okay, do me a favor. Look up DMX Flesh of My Flesh graded CD.
Are they selling for a ton?
Why the second
Well,
one?
there's not a lot that have sold yet. I think that they just had the first batch come out from grading.
Oh, so the market hasn't been set for it yet, kind of situation. Is this a grading company that Steve Aoki is associated with?
It hasn't sold yet.
Flesh of my flesh, blood of my blood.
I would rather think it's Dark and Hell is Hot.
That's what I was gonna say. Jesus, dude.
The first pressing that has the LL Cool J response to cannabis. You remember that? DMX. I talked about this on an old school OTR episode. It's dark and hell is hot.
Dude, I got a It's Dark and Hell is Hot poster from Brand New.
But that's huge. If they're grading CDs now, like, I mean, depending on where the market's bid at, like, that could be pretty big.
Well, that company is grading not only CDs, they're grading tapes,
All right.
vinyl records, if I'm not mistaken.
I'm going to show you guys something crazy. Here's some cornbread, all right? This is the original first pressing of It's Dark and Hell is Hot. It's the only reason I bought this album. It's when it was the first pressing of DMX, It's Dark as Hell is Hot. I didn't know about DMX. The only reason I bought this is because I knew it was going to have this extra CD in it, right? Here's the extra CD in it on the back here, and it's got the it's all Def Jam songs and stuff like that, and it's got the response to the LL Cool J disc by Cannabis. It's got LL Cool J's response called The Ripper Strikes Back, I think. And this was the only place you could get it at the time. This was before Napster, right? This was before you could just find any beef song. You could only find them on these types of CDs. It was so...
I don't think mine had that. I 100% had that CD. I don't know if mine had that.
It's crazy rare, and you can get them for $10. There you go. Well, I think people just don't know what it is.
Oh, was it like behind like the actual part that held the CD?
See,
yeah,
it's behind it. It's a 2-disc.
Those are cool.
Set. Yeah.
So it comes in that little Def Jam sleeve thing.
No, it's on the back of this. It's a 2-disc set.
Oh.
So when you open this side up, the right side, it has another disc on the other side.
Okay.
And that's what, for some reason, they're not showing it. Yeah.
That had the Def Jam. Part to it. Yeah.
See what it says Def Jam right there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, bro. Crazy. All right, where were we? Thailand promo Britney Spears CD. That they must have given out for something back then. Sold for $150.
For drinking a 10 of Pepsi, probably?
Yep.
You guys been watching Britney's Twitter?
Yeah, she's losing it, bro. It's amazing.
No way, dude. She's becoming dude. She's undrugged now.
What?
Nope. All the years of mind control on her, man. Now she gets to be herself, having a good old time.
Yeah, she definitely gets to be herself. That's for sure.
Leave Britney alone, man. Hey, dude, I don't give a shit, dude. She's my age, dancing in G-strings. Good job. I never thought I'd call Britney Spears a MILF, but here we are.
All right, moving on. All right, here's another crazy rabbit hole we're going to go down. So these are the gold records given out for RIAA, the record industry stuff. And it's for Blizzard of Oz, Wish You Were Here, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2, and there was a couple others that sold. But if I'm not mistaken, chat, let me know, or people just responding on the replay, let me know. If I'm not mistaken, like anybody associated with anybody that knew the album, they could get extra copies of these. I got a buddy that was friends with a manager that was good friends with Chino and Maynard, and his house is full of Deftones and Tool and A Perfect Circle gold and silver records and shit. And he's like, yeah, I can get you one. All I have to do is contact so and so, and they put in for one, and they can send one to your house. I'm like, what? So if that's the case, man, there is some money to be made on these gold and silver record plaques.
Yeah.
Well, if you have a source like that directly from like one of those record producers, right? I don't know if necessarily buying it from some guy off of eBay is going to make you money down the road, right?
Yeah. Lazarus McFly says, I had some of these from Master P and Mystical back in the day. That's dope. That's cool. That is cool. All right, moving on. I understand liking Slipknot. I think Slipknot is one of the best metal bands, rock bands ever. I think they're absolutely amazing. I've got nothing but the most respect for every single person in Slipknot. Korn, on the other hand, I would never pay $610 for a guitar pick with, is that Monkey from Korn on there or something? I don't know. Like, Korn is probably the only good thing about Korn to me was their drummer, their original drummer, David Silvera. Other than that, man, they sounded so terrible. And I know we all liked them when that first album came out just because they were so different.
No.
But Philthy's bass sounds like a fucking dad fart. And Jonathan Davis is probably the worst frontman at any band that I've ever listened to. So,
dude, I give no fucks about Korn, but
I'm giving no fucks about Korn.
Really love that shit.
I still don't understand why they need 7 strings for their music that they're playing.
What are you talking about, dude?
So,
7 strings are badass. 12 strings, 13 strings. I don't give a fuck, man. Make it sound badass.
If you use it properly, they're not playing anything that
I know. It's
you
just
really
a double
need
string. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just for that drop tune sound and blah blah blah. Like
drop tuning is dope in the right situation.
I mean, I play in drop A. Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
right.
yeah. So, but like, yeah,
just
but,
makes
like,
it easier. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you're not doing anything special with it, like, what's the point?
I agree. But you know what? They made 7 strings cool. I will give Korn credit for that. Everybody wanted a 7 string after Korn. Like there was only a few people that were playing 7 strings at that time, you know. But after Korn did it, everybody wanted to fucking do that drop fucking whatever D, drop D. Is that what they do? Is that right?
For Korn, yeah. I
think it's drop D. Anyways, Nirvana original In Utero tour poster from the 1994 Cologne, Germany canceled show. Is that the one where he OD'd at right before he died? I think it is. Let me look.
Maybe. It was that album, that tour.
Cologne.
Oh damn! I need to hit up that. Like I was on the show bill for a show that never happened, and then like the poster was always like at that music venue's wall and stuff like that. So I need to hit up because I knew the owner, because he was around my age, and I need to hit him up and find out if he still has that poster. Because the band that got booked to headline that show ended up canceling. Like they were on a tour, on a different tour. So whoever booked them, like their booking manager, like conflicted the dates.
Yeah, this is when he attempted suicide in Rome. So it got canceled because he attempted suicide, tried to kill himself in Rome. That's crazy, dude. How badass is that? That is super sick. So $375 for that. I would love to have that. And then 1993 Wu-Tang Clan flyer from the it says after work party, and Wendy Williams have something to do with who cares? I don't care about all that. All I see is Wu-Tang Clan on there, and it's from 1993, and it sold for $221, which is absolutely crazy.
Hold on, wait. You're trying to talk smack about Korn?
Moving on.
Yeah, they fucking suck.
1994, Nas, Kid Capri, Craig Mack. This is another great flyer right here. This also has the Fugees on it, and it's another Wendy Williams hip-hop show flyer that sold for $667. And then this is a great play to me because I was going through an old collection that Jesse had got one time, and it had a bunch of magazines in there. And it had a bunch of those old, like, new wave English magazines. And in a couple of them, I found, like, this is, they have a back page section that says, like, up-and-coming artists. And it would say, coming out of Sheffield, da-da-da, these people, you know. And I found a Cure one where it says up-and-coming, you know, new artists, The Cure, and a Depeche Mode one, which I thought were super cool, right? Because as a comic fan, you think like, oh, the first time they're mentioned in a magazine is awesome. You know, that's fucking super cool. So I saw this. These are New Musical Express magazine, 68 to 69. You get 23 of them. Think of all the first, quote unquote, first time like people were probably mentioned in these magazines from being like local bands in England at the time. Probably not a bad play to pick those up for $199, you know, with all the magazine spec. I just thought that was cool. Same with Rolling Stone. Like the first time if somebody's mentioned Rolling Stone, I know Blue Green Tony always talks about the was it the Source magazine that he has where it mentions
The Simpsons.
Eminem as an up and coming
yeah.
artist. Yeah, which is very, very cool.
Oh, with the one with that Punisher comic, right?
No, this is
okay.
It's a little section of the Source where they talk about up and coming artists to check out, and it says check out so and so from Detroit. Da da da. Anyways, then I've talked about this before. I love this. I need to get a copy of this and get it framed. Saturday Evening Post, March 4th, 1944. The Norman Rockwell tattoo Sailor Jerry cover, just iconic, super iconic, and I'll eventually get one of those.
Tattoo or the magazine?
Both. No, not a tattoo. I don't need a fucking tattoo. All right, moving on. This is that Doom cover, that comic. I just wanted to show it a little bit up close so you guys can see what it looks like and see that it's a pretty cool book, pretty crazy giveaway. So there's the back. It's got Doom stuff on the back. Cool book. All right, Crime Suspense Stories, number 22, a raw copy. Let's take a look at it, Sean. You tell me what you think, if this is a good deal or a bad deal. It's pretty fucking tore up, but it's still together.
How dare you?
Yeah.
It looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
Show the edge, not there, but like one of the other pictures, the right edge.
I got you. Right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's in the very good. I'd have to check GPA. It seems like a decent deal.
Let's take a look at the back.
If there's not tape or anything like that, you can probably clean the back up. I haven't seen it yet, but are they not showing the back?
I don't know. Hold on here. Here we go.
There we
There's
go. That'll work. Yeah.
Ooh, a little rough.
No, that's fine. That's gonna happen.
Well,
you can't find
see
too
how
many
much they
without
sold
that
it
anymore.
for. You ready?
Yeah.
4,000.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad deal.
Yeah. I know Nate's looking to buy one of these, I think.
With a zero feedback, I'd like to see what else he's got going on over there.
Yeah, that's not good. Holy shit. What is this guy thinking? Yeah, that's interesting.
Check see if they're sold. See if he sold more stuff.
He didn't. I don't think so. Let me take a look. Hold on.
No big deal. Just sort by sold or whatever. Maybe he did a bunch of those.
Nope, that's it.
Just that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you should be protected. That's not terrible. I'd have to think GPA. I think that's probably around the right price for something wrong. He's got it very good, so he sort of graded it. So yeah, I could even see that thing in a 5.0.
This was interesting. This is Back to the Future number 1, a 9.8, signed by Michael J. Fox, Christopher Lloyd, and the cast. Signed by a ton of Leah
Thompson. I love it. Yeah.
Thomas F.
That's
Wilson,
pretty good.
Michael J. Fox. Great looking, interesting book.
Yeah. That's a cool book. Yeah, that's not where I'm spending my $1,600, but for a super fan with disposable income, I think that's a decent buy.
Yeah.
I don't know how you're going to get them all to sign it again. So.
There's the if anybody wants to see the sketch up close.
Oh, why is he making out with Spider-Boy?
I know. All right. Dell'Otto. Speaking of Dell'Otto, how about an original Dell'Otto art piece for less than a Bry's comic trade dress copy? How about an original huge piece of Dell'Otto art for $805? What is going on here?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not that I'm not into Dragon Ball Z, but I'm not a hater. I don't care. Whatever you like, whatever you like. I would hang that up in my fucking house for $800.
Yeah.
I'll be like, you don't understand who this is. I put some comic covers like on a shelf next to it so people can check it out. They'll be like, oh, I get it.
And it looks like it could be like original art for one of those chalk covers that he does that everybody's talking about right now. But I don't know.
Maybe.
It's still a good cover for $800. Or a
Oh,
piece
totally,
of art.
man.
Yeah.
It looks like already framed, so that's $100.
Yep. What's the back look like? Yeah. Look at that. Professionally framed.
We'll see where. No,
Apex
just
Gallery.
Yep.
Art glass. Beautiful. Yeah, that's definitely worth it.
Oh, yeah.
Remember seeing
But
this?
yeah, what Hero said, go ahead and buy it.
I know, right? Is it still? It's
and
not
then go make
available.
your own comic. Yeah, but just I know, but then go make your own cover out of it.
Oh yeah, exactly. This is crazy. I remember seeing this, and I remember thinking, "Oh man, how lucky is it that he has that?" I can't believe he sold it, dude. Trinity Comics sold this Peach Momoko and Adi Granov original art collab piece. Got $4,550 for it. That's a lot of money, but
you can't believe that guy sold it.
Oh yeah, I get it. I get it. I can't believe anybody would sell it. I get that guy would sell it, but I can't believe anybody would sell this. To be honest, like if they gave you this, maybe I don't know. Maybe they didn't give it to him. Maybe he bought it.
Yeah,
but that's a really cool piece right there. If you're going to get a original Momoko piece and then throw Granov on it, he just makes the piece better. And that's a great looking Momoko. Demon Days, Psylocke.
Yeah, check my. You don't have to, Brian. Anybody's bored. July 19th, you can check my Instagram to see those two that he has framed there sitting next to each other.
Yep, that
was a cool night. So,
moving on. This is pretty crazy. This is Batman #1, the Capullo Snyder. It's got 2 sketches on it. Look at that.
That's sick.
And then there's this one.
Oh God!
Right,
green hair on that Joker.
Yeah, look at that Joker, dude.
It's amazing. Dope purchase. Hell yeah.
A little over $1,100, $1,127. Great pickup. If I had that much, if I could buy that, I would have bought it. That's a great pickup.
Yeah, that is awesome. That Joker on there, all with Capullo just doing. Oh my God,
so good, dude.
That's a sick remark.
Oh my God, that's fucking sick. How do you even how often do you even see remarks from Capullo, dude?
Yeah.
So at certain conventions he's showing up to, he'll have like a private event party after the show or whatever, where you sit down and have a panel, and then you can sign up for extra tiers to have like remarks, signatures, and then they'll even have like CGC witnesses where you can turn your stuff into afterwards.
That's cool, man. Very cool.
Very cool.
All right, moving on. This blew me away. This, to me, looks like a new book. I can't believe that this is from 1965. Look how cool this cover looks.
Yep.
That's from 1965. I mean, yeah, when you look at it, but it doesn't look, the design of it, it looks like a newer book to me. I mean, the art looks like from 1965, but the black and white and the with the purple, that's just a cool book. $660. Moving on. All right. Mortal Kombat comics from Brazil. They're exclusive to Brazil, I guess. I've never seen these. Check these out. Mortal Kombat 4. They're pretty tore up. But $1,700 for these 3 books.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's a lot of money.
And they are tore the F up, man.
Well, Brazil is notorious for not having high grade copies of books anyways.
Oh yeah. I wonder if was it Two Brothers Comics that are really into one of the brothers is really into Mortal Kombat. Now I wonder if they picked this up because this is crazy. I've never seen these.
Well, whoever bought it probably thought the same thing too. Like, I've never seen this, and I'll probably never see it again on the market anytime soon. I'm guessing. I don't know.
Interesting.
Josh, you have the link. Jump in.
Yeah. All right. Some G.I. Joe stuff. This is G.I. Joe, probably one of the best convention sets next to the all red Viper set. And here's why. Look at how badass that beachhead, that tiger head beachhead is. I have to buy one of these, just the tiger heads, or the beachhead Tiger Force. That is so badass. But then you throw in some color variants of the Dreadnought. Look at that. That is badass. So I'm going to be on the lookout for these. If anybody has a Tiger Force beachhead from the 2004 convention set, the whole set sold loose for $1,050. Crazy. Next. This is nuts too. I never heard of this. 1987 Superpowers figure from Columbia called the Abominable Snowman. And it's just Hulk, but not painted.
Because it was used to smuggle cocaine.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure, dude. If they melted that, they just didn't know.
$1,100.
We've all seen traffic.
Those are made of cocaine, those arms right there. And that's really good cocaine right there. And those feet. See how
pure
it's
uncut.
Yellow? It's a little yellow.
Pure uncut.
I can smell it from here.
Smell the cat piss.
I don't like cocaine. I just like the way it smells.
Yeah, I just like the smell of it, right?
Yeah, I just like the smell of it. All right. Moving on to another badass figure. This is the Stan Solo Iconicon Boba Fett. How sick is this?
That is sick. I like that.
Oh my god, dude. Iconicon Boba Fett figure by Stan Solo. Sold for $355. Comes in like a beautiful graded. Oh, it's graded. Look at that. APG C85.
That was beautiful.
That is gorgeous, man. I got to get one of these too. Man. All right, here's another thing that we've talked about before, but I've never seen how it looks, and it is freaking cool looking. This is the Tool Fetus in a Skull sculpture that they sold recently. Sold for $600 on the secondary. Look at how crazy this little statue is. I get it. It is absolutely crazy, but it looks freaking cool, dude.
It'd be badass as a bowling ball.
Right?
Yeah, be pretty cool.
That is nuts, man. Activate a beat. You can touch the third eye to activate a beating heart. Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy, dude. It is life size, 9 inches in height, 9.5 inches in height, 9 inches in width, and 9 inches in diameter, and it weighs 8.5 pounds. There is a half-scale maquette that you can get, but this is way cooler.
Yeah.
Damn. That's for the Ultimate Tool fan. All right. Jermaine Rogers, another great concert poster artist. This is a killer Soundgarden poster from the Fairfax, Virginia 2011 concert, and it's called The Deal, and I have to get one of these, man. It's God and the devil making a deal. How great is that? Devil smoking a joint. Or a cigarette, one of the two. Killer Soundgarden. Original art poster. These are usually limited. These are usually limited prints. There's probably only so many of them. And then this is another cool Nirvana poster. This is from the Reading Festival. It's signed. It's got. So I went to a bunch of Coachellas, and then every time I would go, I'd get the posters, right? Because the posters are so badass, and I just kept them in the tubes. And one year I was like, I got to get all these framed, and they look great professionally framed. So I think this would be a great looking poster because it's look at all the great bands on there. I mean, Public Enemy, Nirvana. Let's see here, PJ Harvey, Smashing Pumpkins, Rollins Band, Beastie Boys, Bjork. Is it Bjork? No, that's not Bjork. Mudhoney, EMF, Dude, there's like just a ton of great bands, and it'd be cool to have this on. But on top of it, it's signed by Nirvana.
Oh, that's badass.
Yeah.
I finally felt old. So I was Hulu like will show Lollapalooza like on like live streams of the bands playing. I didn't recognize any of the bands like whenever I randomly tuned in, like because they'll put the band name at the top. I'm like kind of like, who is that? So I was like, yes, I'm old now.
Check this out, bro. This is another thing I gotta get. You guys know I love to collect like marijuana and cannabis propaganda. This is a detective fiction weekly from May 3rd, 1941. Look at the cover. It's a guy smoking a joint, and in the smoke is the devil getting ready to shoot him. And it says marijuana.
That's bad.
Marijuana.
Marijuana.
Yeah.
Marijuana.
So I gotta find one of these now. This sold for $150. And then continuing with that, I don't know what this is. And then I went, man, that doesn't look like the first High Times. This is the back of the first High Times. This guy made a big mistake. It sold for $135. Here's the front.
Oh my god.
First ever High Times. Yes.
So he probably just rushed loaded his images and then didn't have the front cover as the primary listing or whatever.
Yeah. And for those of you guys that don't know, the very first High Times was a person taking mushrooms on the cover. So.
Nice.
And it was printed on hemp paper. No, I don't know. That's just a joke. Finally,
the Constitution was written on hemp paper, or draft was at least.
Yeah. Here you go, leg. 1963 Monster Rat Fink Stanley Mouse magazine. Look at that.
Wow, is that like pre Rat Fink?
More of the Mouse by Mouse. Hot rods, surfers, and sports cars. It's a whole magazine. Signature? Look at this. It came out in 1963.
Yeah, but is it
kind of like a preview?
Is it Ed Roth though?
Yeah. I don't know if it's Ed Roth necessarily that put it out, but it's all Ed Roth art. Look at that.
But it is Ed Roth.
Yeah.
It does it say it? It's not some bootleg shit.
Mouse's Wild World of Hot Rods. Is this where did Ed Roth first draw this crazy drawing?
He might be looking at it. 1963 seems before. Hold on.
Sold for $152. Look at these badass, all these photos. There's Rat Fink.
Oh, wait, Rat Fink's actually in there?
Yeah, Rat Fink's in here. These are all Ed Roth art, I believe. They look like it. Look at that, dude. Holy shit. Look how badass that is.
Dude, I love it. Well, that's my favorite shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, I thought this was going to fucking blow you away, man. Look at this. Holy cow.
Yeah, I don't know what. I just had these sitting here. I don't know what year it started, though. There's number one.
What was it before 63?
This is 64.
Wow, so 1963.
Big Daddy Roth number one. This is number 4. I just haven't yeah, of course I just randomly have this on my fucking desk today, huh? I got this off the wall in Baltimore for $100. He was like, just that you know who he is. He's like, yeah, $100 is fine. And this probably would come out as the highest grade.
Is it one of those dealers that mainly has like a lot of vintage and that's towards the front of the booth or towards the front? No,
he was on the back. This was probably like 5 fucking years ago. I don't remember where I got
this is a rare magazine from 1963 that features the iconic Monster Rat Fink and Stanley Mouse artwork. It is a must-have for any collector of vintage magazines, especially those interested in the underground art scene of the 60s. The publication month is June. So June 1963 is when
this October, November 64 is Big Daddy Roth number 1.
So this could be really early.
Yeah, that'd be. I mean, I easily would have paid $150 for that.
Right. Rat Fink 1963 first appearance. Is this it? This could be it, man. Who knows?
I didn't even know what it is.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
what's it actually say though? The top.
More of the most by mouse.
All right, I gotta try to look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called Monster Rat Fink Stanley Mouse Magazine. We're going down the tunnel, you guys.
Oh god, just what I
And
needed.
while we do that, I want to give a quick shout out. Tomorrow night, you can catch the Bogcast.
Hey guys, guess what I'm shooting with today? It's finally happening. Wow, I didn't know you were going to do that.
The Bogcast. All right, so I did want to show you guys this.
Only 6 people graded these in history.
Oh wow!
Oh wow!
There's a VF.
Are you about to be 7?
I saw people.
Dude, I pulled it
because
I might clean and grade it. Yeah.
I saw people mention this somewhere, right?
Oh, the action figure one, right?
Yeah. I went, man, I know I've talked about this book before. So I went to look, and I have 4 copies of it still in the poly bags that they would come in. Because back in the day, I would pick up those Psylocke figures for like 15, 20 bucks. And then sell just the figures, right? And then so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna buy more of these. I'm gonna see if there's more out there. You could buy these figures, same price, 15, 20 bucks, 20, 25 bucks. And the Psylocke figure sells for more than the price of what you paid for it, usually loose. And then I'm gonna send these to Hood and see if he can press them and get them graded 9.8. I think that I've always talked about those Legends variants being cool to me. I did the same thing with these that I did with the Spider-Man 2099 variant, and I also did it with the variant that's in the back of X-23 Legends figure. And that was during the Apocalypse Build-A-Figure run, which was before this one. This one was during the Mojo Build-A-Figure run. So it also has Build-A-Figures in it that you can sell those Build-A-Figures to pay for, I guess, the press or the grading on these. And great play if Psylocke becomes big. I think this is one of her better covers because the regular cover doesn't have the great old school X-Men trade dress on it and the corner box. So it looks so much better with the old school trade dress. And then
my shop had picked up a bunch of the Legends figures from a collection or something like that.
Oh yeah,
and they were just selling them for like $3 to $4, and I was like, kind of like, I'm gonna yank all of these because, like, you know, they're in decent condition. And yeah.
I also picked up another one of these. I pick them up anytime they are for sale on eBay. You have to be careful when you're searching for them. Trust me. They call this a bathhouse magazine, and danger if you're going to search for this name of this magazine. But the reason why I search for it is because it has.
I like you didn't show on the inside. So like you're pulling the page that you want to show.
And it has a be careful because you want to have the interior little thing left, but in the final page, right there, the very first Matt Groening.
Well, Matt Groening, huh?
Yep, artwork ever.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So this is called Wet Magazine. I think it's issue 8. Yeah, gourmet bathing is what they call it, and just that's the cover you always look for. It's the like 3rd or 4th one I have, and I'm definitely gonna send them. I'm gonna get them pressed and graded. And then I picked up some other things. I think I bought some of these graded, but I must have got one sent to me. This is the downtown.
Oh, what? You got the gold variant, huh?
Yeah, 25.
That's because like weren't people just randomly selected for the gold variant?
I don't know.
Yeah, they had like a
cool.
Yeah, so there was like a raffle of some sort or something like that, or randomizer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so you were the one of the lucky few people.
That's
So I
good.
guess your card karma is transferring over the comic
My
karma
card
for
karma is
downtown.
transferring over. Yeah.
Yeah.
It says
For
325
downtowns.
on the back there.
That's badass.
But I swear I bought a graded version too, so I think I have a couple 9/8s heading my way eventually.
So yeah, you're probably getting your graded ones whenever they get back from CGC, and
Yeah.
you probably just because you're purchased, you probably won it that way.
That's awesome, dude. I didn't know that. I was wondering why I
Yeah.
got it.
You're like, out of 25, I didn't order this.
Yeah. Then I picked up. I went on a deep dive looking for Jay Stevens' first artwork and stuff, and I think I found it. I'm gonna have to contact him and ask him. But this is Sin Comics from Tragedy Strikes Press, and it's just called Sin. And then they changed the name to Sin Comics later down the line, and this is number 5, and this is pretty rare as far as I know. So I picked up those early Jay Stevens art.
Oh, did you get into the Tupac downtown comic covers?
No.
Did you see?
They sell those?
Did
too?
you see them?
No. Do they look
Yeah.
good?
So there's a Tupac one, and it
Oh,
has like
great.
palm trees, but it looks like weed leaves.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna
It's
check it
pretty
out.
cool. And there's actually weed leaves on there too. So
And then I got this because Hartman reminded me about it. This is that marked the Halloween special from Image,
Mhm.
and I think we talked about this when this came out because I instantly flagged it. I know we could go find a Beyond Wednesdays or episode where I went, that's AI art right there. I don't care what anybody says. The way the AI art, especially early AI art looked, they had this look right here, this stuff right here. So I think that was AI art that was used and they didn't know. But at back, it has that beautiful Barbarians.
I thought the
By Ryan
artist
Haberlin?
ended up owning up to using AI on
He
it.
did ended up owning up to it on this?
I believe so. I don't know. Double check with Hartman. If he's in
Okay.
the chat, confirm.
It's a great comic, man. It's great quality. So I got
Yeah.
that. And then I picked this up for super cheap. I think I paid like $15 for it or less. It's a really nice newsstand of Spawn number 21. I mean, super clean. So I'm gonna send this off to get
nice.
Yeah. And yeah, man, it came in a top loader, which is nice. And then I went through some old school Wizards, and I found the old school Wizard Danzig 1996 Halloween sticker in there.
Nice.
Yeah. And this, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's worth anything. Shadowline, the Hero Premier Edition. It's gold foil. So I have to look into this. It is fucking little ash can, just perfect condition.
Are we doing an impromptu pickups thing?
We
real
are.
quick?
We are.
So check out these Star Wars Crimson Empire
Ooh,
newsstands
nice.
I picked up.
Ooh,
They
very
got
nice.
Issues 1 and 2. I found them at Half Price Books, and then
love
I also
Crimson
found
Empire.
And then I also found Star Wars Shadow of the Empire Evolution newsstands. So 1 and 2.
Wow.
So
Nice
I was just,
cow, bro.
yeah, and they're in pretty nice condition and everything. I have to take it out of the bag and board and stuff like that. But you know, I'm doing the spine trick and I'm not feeling any spine ticks on there. So yeah. Like, I mean, for $2, like, can you really complain about high grade newsstands from Half Price?
Yeah.
No, not at all, dude.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's not like they pay any attention to how they treat shit.
Yeah.
Heroes Reborn says the first published Rat Fink art by Roth was Carcraft Magazine, July 1963.
Yeah, I'm all over.
I'm going
it.
to write that down right now. Go ahead, Pete.
These Jock foils came in finally.
Oh, wow.
Like Jock was selling these off his website, and then he signed them all, and then you also get a print with them. So
What does the print look like?
I think it's just the same image.
Is it a big print, like huge, or is it small?
No, it's small.
Oh,
It's,
fuck. That sucks.
yeah, it's like it's not even the size of a back and board, but he signed it as well too.
Oh, that's cool. What up,
Yeah.
Astro Wizard?
So I mean, like, if you bought it directly from him, you had a chance of getting the OA for this. Like, he just sent it to a random person that like, whoever
did somebody
bought
get
was-
announced?
So I haven't seen it on social media, but they're starting to float around the US if you ordered them.
That's cool. That's super cool.
What's up, Astro Wizard?
All right, so
Dude,
before
and whoever's in the chat already cleaned out the fucking
Car
cleaned out
crap?
eBay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let me add that.
Good
so
job.
for those of you guys who
Thank
don't know,
fucking pieces of shit. Fuck you.
Yeah, this is
You're welcome
the,
to the entertainment. Good job
this
here. Thanks. At least try and appreciate it.
somebody send one of those copies to Leg. He deserves it. Beyond Wednesday's comic creator first list, let's go add Big Daddy Roth to it. Let's see here. First work. For those of you guys that don't know, you can find this link in the description and in my bio. It's a living document, so anytime that you see something that should be added to it, you can make a comment and I'll add to it. So we're gonna go. Ed Roth, right?
Dude, nobody's gonna flip it for anything, dude. The only people who give a fuck about Ed Roth are like two of us.
And what was it again? It was Carcraft Magazine.
Yeah.
July 1963.
Wild Woodies and Surf Wagons, but July 63.
Someone's gonna hold it over your head and be like, "Leg, press these books for me for this magazine."
Oh, that's
he would
cool.
do it.
Hey,
Yeah,
don't
for
worry.
sure.
When you get your slab back, there'll be pubes in the middle.
Oh, jeez. You
Oh,
need pickups?
and then-
oh, wait, there we go. I gotta show this. Hold on. This
Yeah,
is
and I got
cool.
the Smiths.
Talk about this.
Oh yeah, so this is from yesterday's from San Diego. This is one of their exclusives from the con. Apparently it's limited to 350, but it also came with a t-shirt. So I had asked Laura, shout out to Laura at Bird City Comics. She tried to get me one at the convention, but apparently you had to pre-order it on Thursday from their website and then pick it up from the con. But then
Which
they
is
also
bullshit.
had an online version as well where you could just get it online.
Where they didn't tell
But
us
then-
that.
Right. And then big shout out to this guy. Leg texted me as soon as they dropped their leftover stuff that didn't sell or that they didn't sell at the con. They dropped a link where you could buy anything that they had left over from the con, and then they had my size in the t-shirt, and I was like thank you Sean.
What did they cost? What did it cost for the card?
So it was a shirt card combo, and it was like $40, $60, something like that. So I don't
they
know.
wouldn't sell them. They wouldn't sell them there. So.
Yeah, it was weird that they wouldn't sell at the
On
con.
principle, I wouldn't buy one online after the con because I paid a whole lot of fucking money to be there.
Yep.
Right, exactly. So, but I mean, I needed a new Misfit shirt, and this was great. Deep in the bottle, and then I love the Misfits. So, I mean, I know
Heroes
they're not the
Reborn
best
goes,
band.
sent you guys a link.
Oh, it already
to a
sold.
link that has it sold, and then he goes, disregard. Someone just bought.
Oh,
Guys are
open
brutal
it.
here.
It was gone. Because people are definitely here on just for Big Daddy Roth advice, right?
Oh, okay. So it was $40. I just looked it up, but they're sold out right now. They're sold out now.
Did you get anything else? Is that it?
I bought another Henry Davis card first,
Oh, there you
so now
go.
I have two.
Just hope he doesn't get caught with a 14-year-old.
I know, right? I mean, because what am I gonna do with all these Wander Francos now? Like,
I know. Fuck.
yeah.
Fuck.
And then one of these is even one of your chromes, so you would have hit high grades. This is a 10.
Yeah.
And
And I
then, like, it's
probably
gonna-
have 50 of the regular Chrome first.
And then what am I supposed to do with a home field
Oh.
advantage rookie 10 now? Like I bought it for so cheap before the season. I should have sold it like a month ago now.
Humans are bad people. That's why that saying that Spider-Man can't pull a hammy is a fucking great saying, or can't break a leg.
Yeah, exactly.
They're
Yeah,
not going
because
to
now
turn
I'm
out
just
to be pieces of shit. Hopefully.
yeah. Or you
And if they write it, they could just change it. They can retcon it. You
yeah,
can't retcon
if you,
Wander Franco.
or you know, like
Yet.
Jaw
We
keep on
can
pulling out
delete 'em, but-
guns. Is
Yeah.
Jaw's pulling out guns at every like chance he gets on social media, right?
Lorcana this Friday. What's going on with Lorcana? Is it being available?
Yeah, I'm in. Just how do I get it?
Yeah.
Did I just buy Did I buy singles now?
No.
No. So they still have boxes, like because they haven't dropped at card shops yet. So card shops dropping them this Friday. Another source to get them is pay attention to the Best Buy website.
Okay.
I can't remember where else, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think Chris H posted that.
Yeah. But I feel like bots are gonna attack Best Buy like crazy to get that shit.
Oh yeah, dude.
Charizard's never dated a 14-year-old.
Cheap at boxes are $300 a pop.
Yeah, but the retail price is like $150.
So you can get them at retail at Walmart?
No, like through Best Buy is supposed to have them.
Okay.
At some point.
No, but in the chat it says, yeah, but does he? Do you know that, Eugene? Or are you just saying? Are you
Eugene
guessing?
says cheap to shop at a Walmart. Cheap at a shop or Walmart and Target.
Oh, he's saying yeah, because it hasn't dropped at card shops yet until this
Yeah.
Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, don't ever pay FOMO. Is that bad? Is bad?
Well, I'm not paying FOMO, but I'll show up to all the WalMarts.
He will do that. He will do
Right?
that,
You know,
yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't mind $20 in gas and striking out. You think I'm paying triple? You're out of here,
Yeah.
So you can get Lorcana starter decks, Lorcana gift set, Lorcana booster packs, all at Best Buy right now.
Oh, so it's already open on Best Buy.
Hold on. Let me before I put words in anybody's mouth.
Some people have some good links.
Here's gift sets for $29.99. Booster pack display, $143.
Yeah, because isn't that the box you want then?
Is this the
I think
box
that's the
that
box.
I want? Coming soon. Okay.
Yeah. So it's not. It
I
hasn't
wonder
dropped
if
yet.
that's. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they're not.
And you can hit this and get told.
Notified.
Yeah.
And then but when you do get that notification, click it right away.
Yeah. $143. So there you go.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout at Best Buy.
Dude, I was listening to new Post Malone on Joe Rogan. He's trying
Great.
to talk Joe Rogan into, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
He's trying to talk Joe into fucking playing Magic.
Joe's into that shit. He was always into like Dungeons and Dragons and shit, wasn't he? as a
Yeah,
kid?
but you know how he is about like
Yeah.
new hobbies and shit. He
Yeah.
won't watch. He doesn't. Dude, there's no NFL players on his show.
I
He's
know.
like, I don't know anything about football.
No.
I don't like. Okay, like he like literally doesn't know anything about football. I'm like, okay, but we'll go UFC and aliens till the wheels fall off, dude.
MetaZoo then.
Yeah, Joe wasn't having it. Dude.
Yeah. That was a great episode though. It was like 4 hours, right?
Oh, dude, it was. And you haven't been on in a long time. And yeah. Plus, dude, come on, man.
Did you get any pickups there, Leg?
No. I did. I pressed and sent them off already.
Oh, there you guys go. I'm gonna be doing the same thing. Not pressing, but sending them to get pressed.
That box right there is a box of Topps UEFA Sapphire.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. If I'm going to open it or just like kind of hold it and see what it does.
Yeah, it'll be worth more if you hold it. It'll be
Yeah.
more fun if you open it though.
Oh yeah, I know, right?
I'm done with cards. I'm done. I'm only gonna sell my cards that I have now and just collect other ones. No more specking on cards. I will have a crazy card sale coming up soon, though. That being said,
Aiden O'Connell rookies, man. It's the only way to go.
All right. Let's see here. What do we got coming? Tomorrow night, Bogcast. Come check it out. Friday night, House of Stein. Come check it out. Saturday night, Mayhem. Come check it out. And then early next week, I'll be recording, hopefully, the first episode of the Industry Show. And then I'm going to be editing that. That will be a edited, video that we drop. And then I'll let you know how it goes. But that being said, come hang out with us on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and of course wherever these guys go.
And Sunday, I'm returning to Whatnot.
Sunday, you're gonna be on
Are
Whatnot.
you?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a sale. I just want to see how it is. I mean, I'm in a chat group with Mel, and he's like, it's actually good in here. But I know it's Mel, so
yeah.
But I was like, kind of like, all right, I haven't been on a while. Let me give it a try. And then I already have like 22 bookmarks for the show.
Well, that's good.
So
I'm
just adding. I'm adding books every day until I have a short box in front of me. So
it's worth a try, man. It's worth a try. Don't get me wrong. I definitely think about it quite often. So it's definitely worth a try.
I figured I might as well give it a try. Might as well throw up some big books to you. I'm gonna start a Batman 423 at $1.
I would never do that.
Why not? Fuck it.
I did it for years. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Good luck.
I couldn't do it. Depends how many people are in your room, dude. Don't.
Exactly. I mean, like,
you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
It was like 3 of us, dude. Don't make me buy it for $6 off you.
I know.
Yeah. If there's like 10 people in there, like, I'm probably not gonna do it. But if there's like, on the upper
60?
side of 20 to 30,
60 to 70.
You think?
I wouldn't give away books on that app ever anymore. I would never give away books on that.
What's the condition on the 423? It's like a very fine year mint. You could probably press it and bump it up. Like, I've honestly thought about pressing and grading it myself.
There you go.
That's one of my biggest flips ever, man. I never left those behind for less than $10.
Oh yeah, I mean, like, in the middle of pandemic, I found one for $5 in newsstand. So,
dude, every time they showed up on MCS, I bought them first, second, and third print. I don't give a fuck, dude.
All the bots, be careful.
Yeah. It's not worth selling big books on Whatnot for $1 minute anymore.
I mean, I bought that book for a really good price anyway. So compared to what the market is of that book, so it's a high demand book anyways. Is my opinion on it.
Yeah.
Of course. Anytime that people are on live, we do our best to try and respond to the chat. I know that I don't always because I'm also pushing buttons, but everybody tries our best to respond to everybody in live chat. So thank you to everybody that hangs out with us live. I want to make sure that everybody checks out Yeezee's Whatnot sale on Sunday, and then at the same time, hopefully it works out because I hope that you sell some comics.
If not, I can cry my tears away with my Wander Franco cards anyways.
Yeah, I'd love to have it back as an outlet. I might try to do it the cheesy way. Comic 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Instead of like perfect write-ups, pictures, and grades where people aren't paying attention. I don't want to
you spend too much
I
time
I can't waste my fucking time. So
we sell big books on Whatnot. All dollar starts.
There we go.
Nice.
Certain people.
A lot of people do. I used to also. When I got down to not having when for some reason I went from like 40 to 70 viewers to 6 to 10 with nobody bidding, I couldn't keep starting stuff at $1. Just can't give shit away.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna figure it out soon. Yeah, that's for sure.
I mean, I have a few test books before I get to the Batman 4023. I mean, that's not gonna be like, oh, my first book back, Batman 423. Let's just throw it up.
Dude, get one of our crew. When you talk off air, get one of our crew to raid you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Drew said he was gonna raid me.
There you go. That's who I was thinking.
Yeah.
Of.
So I mean, like with Drew, like with that kind of thing, like I feel like I have a better
and you gotta
like
start.
That is one good thing that's nice
giving
about
a book
that.
away.
That's one good thing that's nice about that raid feature. It lets friends help each other. And then here's another one. Sensational Comics says he just hit 12K followers. So there you go. People follow Sensational Comics on Whatnot, and Sensational Comics throw a raid Yeezee's way on Sunday night. There you go. That being said, much love to everybody. We're going to call it a night because I am super stoned on RSO right now, and it just kicked in, and I am about to fall asleep. Much love. Peace.